Hello, hello, and welcome to the Potential Apes podcast. You know us for that one YouTube channel we don't talk about. And all things Game Pass. From the unattainable dream to the deepest reaches of our mind. It's a podcast about life. Today I'll be your host, Rockin' Stone. It's Nick Ditto. Thank you. There we go. Thank you. To my right, he's always right. It's Mike.
This is true. Hello, hello.
That's good. I like that.
And of course, to my left, enduring the collapse of a waning star, it's Chuck.
Ah, yes, the weight of the universe.
Yes, thank you. And we've got a show for you today, but first, a word from our sponsors.
He said that with a plural.
Message from Soup Medic. I believe it's Soup Medic, actually. How about I do individual? It's fine. Hello, everyone. Hope you're well.
That's so nice.
This one from Azran. Be on the lookout for more conversational content coming to Azran127 on Twitch and YouTube. Check the Ace Discord for all the specifics.
Oh my, I want to be updated because I don't know what he's doing. What does he mean by discussion content? Ooh.
It is interesting, isn't it? Thank you to our sponsors. And of course, just a reminder, license subscribes take us a long way. And of course, don't forget to bump that bell like a face-down trap card.
Nice. I like that.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome back to the podcast.
That's not how you use trap card. I don't know what bump means.
You just give him a
Don't
bump.
worry about it.
And
Bump the
then-
bell. That's what I said. Bump the bell like and subscribe, okay? That's what that means.
You flip face down trap cards.
Guys, this is interesting times.
Indeed.
So we come to you at a very interesting time. This is not necessarily a topic, but is in the news, I guess. Someone scored a hit marker on the former president.
Yeah.
They failed.
Pretty crazy sauce. And that was just yesterday for when we're recording.
An
Yeah.
attempted assassination.
Yes.
Yeah, literally.
So one thing before we get into any of that, obviously we're coming right off of it for the
Yeah.
most part. Like it happened yesterday evening, as far as
No,
more
yesterday afternoon.
yesterday afternoon. So like there could be updated information. So anything we do say is using more than likely outdated information, just so you guys know.
Yeah. This is very much a time capsule in time. So yeah, kind of wild.
Kind of wild.
Yeah, kind of wild. I'm saying that very nonchalantly for how absolutely wild that is.
It
That
hasn't happened since the 80s.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
yeah, so that's not good. Immediately when I saw this, okay, one of my friends had like the information and starts sending it to us. You know, like,
I
hey,
fell
this is what's
asleep
going
'cause
down.
I didn't know what was going on and I was tired.
Oh my
And
god.
then the initial notification wasn't very that serious. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then someone my brother called me and woke me up. I was like, bro, they like said they hit him. I was like, what?
Yep. They got the Call of Duty crosshair marker when you score a
did.
hit.
They
They
did.
got,
They got a
they
little
got a
hit
hit marker.
marker
I was
there.
like, oh my god. Okay, that's wild and crazy. I listened to a tiny bit of coverage of this, a little bit of the information. When I first saw this, okay, I started seeing like Twitter comments and people's comments, and
Not the
immediately
best place to go.
No, of
Not
course.
the best first
no,
place to
of
go.
course, but it is also the quickest.
True.
That
Very
you're
true.
gonna find like live information. You're like, oh shoot.
It's a lot better
This is
with
going down.
Elon, though.
Yeah,
I
There
don't
was-
remember because like
There
I
was
didn't.
more, because a lot of the news articles were not accurate to what it had.
I saw a few articles where they said like loud sound
noises,
happens
or
and
he
then
fell on the
Trump
ground.
falls over at the rally. It's like
Who would word it that way?
CNN.
it was a little wild. I did see those things. I'm not here to comment on that. No worries. But
Elon just let everything go. He just let everything let it loose. It's a Wild West out there again. It's a good times.
yeah. So here's the thing. This is why I wanted to bring this up because immediately I thought back to something very old. The specific experience I had. Okay, back in the day when I was like, really excited
Someone tried
about.
to assassinate you.
Yes. No. This is going to sound so tangential, but I'll link it. It'll come all together. I was studying Japan in particular, and I was following a lot of people who lived in Japan. They were doing like things like vlogs. Okay,
What,
that was an era.
the guy the one presidential guy that got shot the last time
This is way
on
before that,
TV.
but you're right. That happened. That's very
Yeah.
akin to this. That one was successful.
There was
President
wasn't there another
Abe.
One, wasn't there one just recently where someone got shanked?
Yeah. Was
I
that
can't remember
Australia?
what.
Where was that?
I can't remember where it was.
I know exactly what you're
I
talking
mentioned
about.
it, Chris. I thought it was.
Wait, that was Korea. That was South Korea.
It was Korea or Japan.
That was
I knew it
South
was
Korea. One of the
two.
candidates got shivved.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's wild. And of course, it's like these countries, a whole lot of their societies don't have guns just lying about. Japan, someone made a homemade gun
Yeah.
to shoot the president,
Yeah.
which succeeded. It's like yikes.
That's scary too, because like especially with like 3D printed like weapons and that kind of thing. It's like that's fascinating. At the same
It's
time,
crazy.
how do you detect that kind of thing? It depends on the pieces it uses.
Do
and
you
that.
detect? Thank you.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, okay? It's like back in the day, I remembered hearing things from some of the people who live there. They would say it's like every time something crazy would happen in like Japan, okay, they would look at the news and they'd be like, "Please God, don't let it be one of me or one of my people."
Yeah.
Okay, because it's like everyone wants to Japan. It's a polite society. You don't want it to be like the
Oh my
American
gosh.
who decided to climb up on a bus and try
Yeah.
and jump onto like a
Yeah.
second story thing while it was moving or something crazy, something dumb. Okay, and I remember a specific story. Some dude started swimming the channel or the moat around the emperor's palace to get to it, or just swimming in it rather. And the authorities are like, "No, that's a big no go." And all the foreigners are like watching the news, like, "Please, don't say they were from Germany. Don't say they were from the U.S. Don't say they were from the UK."
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone because no one wanted to be one of them.
Yeah.
Okay. I started watching. Well, not watching.
How does this connect?
I heard about this event. Okay, someone scored a hit marker on the former president. Okay, and I was like, oh God, whomever this person personally affiliates with, not that group affiliates with them, they affiliate with.
Yeah.
Okay, whomever they affiliate with is about to get. It's about to get bad for them. And I started thinking that same thing. I said, please, God, don't let it be one of mine.
Yeah.
One of my kin or something like that, And it's interesting, okay? I got the tiniest bit of information on specifically who the person is. I'm not giving names because we don't do that here.
No.
He's dead and buried.
Yeah. That's what he ought to be known for. It's weird because the person who did it, they know a tiny bit of information. They can't find any social media presence. They were saying this must be the only 20-year-old on the planet who doesn't have a social media presence because they can't find any accounts linked to him. They're saying he might have had a Discord. They don't have any details. All
That
these
was last
details.
I'm sure a
though.
lot of-
That was last
Of
night.
course.
I
Yeah,
watched
I'm
the
sure a
press
lot more
con.
details will come as they do an actual investigation.
But here's the official stuff that we do know. One, they knew his name because they were able to identify him. They basically got him. He's off the
He's
planet.
DOA.
Yes. What did they say? Take shots at the king. You better not.
Miss.
There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah. What they know is that this person had donated $15 to Biden's re-election campaign or his initial campaign. I don't remember which one it was.
Right after his inauguration,
Yeah. And then later,
he registered as a Republican to vote for Nikki Haley,
so there we go. That's what we know. And it's like,
or he just covered both ends and he's another Lee Harvey Oswald on the Hill.
yeah.
God
that-
knows. God knows. So
It's sketchy.
yeah, so no idea. We don't really know much information at this point on this day 7/14. Okay, like the day after or something, So like we said, this is a time capsule. More information will obviously come out, and obviously things will be sorted out. But yeah, that's all we know. And I don't know. That's the thing. It's like I was worried. It's like, okay, who is he affiliated with? Who's about to get a nasty, nasty surprise? It's like you're gonna get the full wrath. You're gonna get the full wrath. So, but right now, as one of my podcasts put it, this person has a confused political history. So we're like, okay,
Not much to go on.
yeah. It's like, fortunately, I am so glad it went down that way, So it's like it's a little harder to like point blame. There's
I don't know if it's going to stay that way for long.
No, of course.
Like
No, of course
like Mike said, you know, it's like we're just coming off of this thing. I assume investigation's going to put a lot more onto it.
Look, I guess here's what I was thinking. Okay, I was like thinking it's like, okay, what if this person was a white individual? Okay,
Sure.
what if this person was a minority?
Yeah,
What if this person was a trans person?
yeah,
What if this person, I don't know, generically a woman? You
Yeah.
know, some people don't like women. I don't know. So I'm glad it's going to be a whole lot harder to point the big blame at a big group.
yeah.
Obviously, it's still going to happen. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything else we want to say about it.
No,
I
let's
just
move on.
okay.
I only had one thing to say about it.
What do you got?
Okay, because I'm not there's so much you could say about it. You know, you get these things like yesterday. Okay, I was at my in-laws' house. Okay, and we go there like. We go there like once a weekend, you know, each month or whatever, and we just hang out. And we were swimming in the pool and all that, and got out and we were gonna eat and all that. And my father-in-law comes out of the house and he's like, "Somebody shot Donald Trump." And
Did he clarify? He's like he's still alive.
well, no, because he was like getting updates, you know, as it was happening. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's fair.
And I remember like you know the way he said it was like so serious with concern and that kind of thing.
Well, yeah, they just shot
And
a president,
Yeah, and
former president, and a nominee, but still.
Sony still has Secret
don't
Service
do
following
that.
them around.
Yeah.
yeah, not cool. But like my entire family, like, everybody surrounding us is Republican, and
Yeah.
with the political stuff has been going, you know, I think a lot of things have been more and more polarizing.
Sure.
You know, so I think everybody's a little bit more intensely wherever, you know, they were before.
I think everyone a little bit more intense is probably a good adjective there.
Yeah, so I just remember that reaction. So I'm sure a lot of people actually had similar reactions depending on where they are. Blah,
Sure.
blah blah. But like the one thing that I had to say about it was it just seems like number one, someone with mental health issues and access to a dangerous weapon.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what it looks like to me.
America.
So it doesn't seem like obviously I don't think that attempting to assassinate a president or a you know a prior president is the right way to do this or do anything.
Yeah.
You know, so when I look at it, it's like immediately it's like okay, they clearly have mental health issues. You know, unchecked. You know, and they had too much access to a dangerous weapon somehow. So you know, unfortunate, but at the same time, Trump's fine. For the most part.
Well, you
I'm
guys are
sure-
hang on. You're also forgetting there is a guy that passed away. That
Yeah,
was killed
yeah.
by this man.
Absolutely.
There were a few
so
people
Who
hit in the
true.
shielded
crowd.
his wife and daughter and was killed.
You're so right. I totally forgot about that because, to be honest, I think everybody's paying attention to
Yeah,
Trump.
no, he
You know, who is fine. But
was-
yeah, that's horrible and sad.
a local former fire chief, and he literally shielded his family from the bullet. So
Yeah.
Yes,
So
man.
really sad, really unfortunate, and just a sad reality. So
Yeah. So that's a somber way to start a podcast, but hey guys.
Yeah, it
Hello.
is.
But yeah, I don't know, just real world events. These are real world things that are affecting, you know, us in America. I know we have audience members who are outside of America, so I figured it'd be interesting to give just a little context as to what's going on and yeah, I don't know. I'd say what we're feeling and stuff. I can't speak to the rest of the country. Obviously, some people are very polarized. Some people are very animated about it. Some people are very
upset that they missed.
sure. People are going to be all over the spectrum. But I could at least say
another
for us
mental health response there. You know what I mean?
Yikes, yeah. So yeah. Without further ado, welcome back to the Potential Apes podcast. Chuck, I believe we have a topic that you'd like to start with.
Yes, but first, I wanted to at least ask, how you guys doing? Welcome back. It's been a while.
It has been a while. I know it's been a hot minute since we've gotten the podcast back out. In that last event, essentially, you know, I had a water feature in my roof. Okay,
Nice. I
in my
like that.
computer room, and I had to just evacuate all my stuff out of there. That's all entirely resolved. That's cool. I still got to put the ceiling up on it, so it looks a bit like this. Chuck's basement, for context, for the audio listeners. Yeah, that's all settled and fine and dandy. I moved my computer room and everything. I have access to my PC. I did finish the last recording and the last editing, so that is up and live right now as of 7/14. So go check it out. That will we talk about gotcha mechanics and your path to the meaning of life,
Yeah.
which was interesting. It was cool. It was a really good one. We also had show and tell, and that was our first feature of a video version of the podcast.
Yeah.
I guess I think podcast 1 maybe we recorded at the desk, and then we went strictly to
Yeah,
audio.
we had a few.
But yeah, we have this set, like we have these lovely couches here, nice backdrop, lovely lighting. Oh, you didn't turn on the spotlight.
It's fine.
No, I don't think
Continue.
we need that one.
I love the spotlight. Your forehead's dark. I can see it.
You can plug it in at some point.
No, Mikey don't like it. He doesn't like to bake under it.
I don't blame him, to be honest. It's blinding.
But it looks so cool. It's whatever. Unimportant. Anyways, we're back, and I'm very excited to continue the Potential Apes podcast, especially now that we have a video feature. We have the podcast going up and everything. Things will be going up on the Potential Apes YouTube. So please like, subscribe, follow, do all the things that work on YouTube, apparently, because I don't know what works, but please consider it. Chuck, back to your question. How we doing?
Yeah.
Doing all right. Last night was interesting. Obviously, we got that former news, but also there was a hurricane that hit Texas, and that storm finally arrived up here.
Yeah.
And it came down so intensely for the course of like an hour and 30 minutes, maybe over the course of 2 hours or so. It started flooding all over the place. I had to get to a location.
It happens. It's not that big of a deal.
Bro, Mikey, I had to turn around in a back roads because it was like the water was just getting deeper. It's like this wasn't just crossing the road. Like,
At least
like
you were
one of the
smart
main
enough
roads.
not to drive into it like most people do down.
Yes, absolutely. I turned around. I was like, look, it's like this might get shallow on the other end, but I don't know that for fact. I'm turning around.
I know how the potholes are here, and I'm not about to hit one in a puddle.
And that was the thing. It's like I ran out to the car or whatever in this downpour. I may as well have jumped in a pool. I was like, oh my, and I stepped in a 4-inch deep puddle.
No.
Yeah, my whole right foot
Oh
submerged.
my God.
my
Nice
left
tip.
foot 75% just
You
wet.
just turn on the heat to your feet, and
Oh.
then you just drive with your shoe off. If it's,
Yeah.
Oh,
I've
that's
done
great.
that before.
I haven't tried that yet.
I
Okay.
did it before because I step in the hole outside our office.
Oh
and
no,
it was-
that's the worst.
Yep,
Man.
and I was soaked my socks, so I just had the heat from the feet thing.
Yeah.
It dried it. It
That's
worked.
hilarious.
So I
No,
was
that's
like,
hilarious. That's
all
a
right.
fantastic.
Smart move.
I love your wealth of experience, Mikey. I don't have this yet. I'm almost 2 years on the job, but I don't have your level of experience yet. So I'm glad I'm learning new tricks here.
Yeah, just like I said, turn on the feet and the heat and let it dry. It does
Heat
its
to
own
feet.
thing.
Understood. Mikey, how you doing anyway?
I'm alive. I'm working 50+ hours a week, so
He really is, guys.
bear with me. Yeah, I'm working Monday through Fridays at
10
every
hours a
different
day.
yeah, every different time zone. Morning, noon, night, all shifts.
Yeah, yours shifts around too.
Yeah, morning, noon, and night.
That is the worst, bro.
So-
That's when you ask for a raise.
We're supposed to be
it's-
getting raises here
It's like
shortly.
it's like it
Are we?
sounds like they're leaning
We
on
usually
you.
get
You know what I mean?
They are leaning.
Not
on
that
me.
they're bad or anything. Like
I'm
it seems
literally
like it's
the
good
only
stuff,
one.
But
Chuck, Mikey is the pillar. Like,
I'm like literally the columnist left.
yeah, he is the column that's holding up the roof, and I'm keenly. I believe they are keenly aware of that.
I was
and they're-
actually saying this the other day. I was like, I don't think I was talking to Mike. I think I was talking to you, Nick. I was
Yeah,
like, you know, I wonder, can Mikey ever get promoted, or do they need him?
We did
where
talk
he's
about
at?
this. Yeah,
well,
Mikey.
the problem is there's people in front of me that
Yeah.
I can't get promoted unless something happens to said people.
Yeah. Well, you
Something
know,
would
just-
they would have to either move on or be fired for me to get promoted.
yeah.
So
Yeah, that's just wishful
literally
thinking.
as it stands right now. So, yes, I can get promoted, but I don't see it right now. I don't see it happening anytime
Yeah,
soon.
Mikey, I was worried about the fact it's like, look, if they get you out of your current position, then you're not doing the current position, and then it's like, who's gonna do that? Mikey's
Nobody.
so reliable.
It's just me. Yeah.
Jeez.
That's how you ask for raises.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I don't know. I'm doing okay.
So-
How about you?
I've been doing well. Trying to think of what to discuss on it because I got a thing that I've been wanting to discuss, but I think I'll save it for the next Potential Apes podcast.
Okay. Like a
Um,
whole topic?
Yeah, like it can
I
kind
get
of be
I get what
one.
you're saying.
Yeah. Generally, I've been doing well. It's summertime, and I think it's just finally getting nice for us. So like we're kind of we're working through the summer. It's not our favorite thing to do at all. We didn't want to work through the summer. We don't like to work through the summer, but this year, just based on how
Are you doing
things
like
go.
a summer school, summer camp thing? What's
Yeah,
going?
it's just basically it's our some of our preschoolers who are here for fall, are just here for the summer too.
Inflation.
Interesting.
Yeah, like you got to continue to make some money and that kind of thing. And
Can't
it's
you like take like a month off at least? Maybe at least 1 month just to make it good.
Yeah, but that's
yeah,
not. It's
but
easier
based on
said than
how
done. You got
inflation has
kids,
been,
yeah, and
Yeah,
you
that's
got.
fair.
Oh, when you can't drop your kids off for home like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not easier than just
our grocery
saying,
bill has gone up like $100 at this point.
that's it.
Yikes.
You're lucky that's all it's gone up.
Well, it's like weekly.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it's just like oh man, because I know we're running a business, but at the same time
Up
it's just like
100?
yeah.
Bro, have you not
Yikes.
seen these things where like people were like, "Oh, let's check a grocery cart from
Mm-hmm.
2017," and it's like
I see-
$400
look-
compared to 200.
Look, I see that, but that's the thing. It's like, look, if you're buying in California, yeah, you're gonna have a $200 grocery bill every week.
No,
$200.
that's not what we're talking about. You literally hit
My
like
groceries bill more than that
like
per week.
Walmart. You can hit like reorder and it reorders everything. So someone did that and it was twice as much as it was
That's
the last time they
wild.
ordered it.
So yeah, inflation's a big thing, but generally it's actually been pretty good for our summer. We finally everything's kind of slowing down and we're doing stuff, so it's been nice. And our youngest baby is getting bigger, and we finally moved her out of our room, so she's sharing a room with her older
Oh,
sister,
that's good.
our second youngest, and our room is like oh we can live again. It's like we can turn the lights on at night. It's like we want to just get some work done or whatever. It's like, okay, so it's nice. We can talk and that. So life's getting a little bit better, slowly, as
Good.
the babies get older.
Good.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Anything else we need to go into before topics?
No, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Take it away.
So my topic, okay, is trophy hunting. Okay, and I'm curious about your guys' opinions on trophy hunting. Trophy hunting is, I would, based on what I've seen, it's particularly controversial. Okay,
Real quick, you want to clarify? It's one of those. Not all hunting is trophy hunting, but all trophy hunting is hunting type of things. Like, not all hunting is going to be considered trophy hunting.
absolutely,
We're
absolutely.
clear that up now.
So, there's a lot of hunting that is done for like meat and that kind of thing. That is not really what trophy hunting is. Trophy hunting is the act of hunting an animal for a trophy. This could include stuffing the animal. This could include, getting the head mounted on the wall. Like a big prestigious kind of trophy for whoever the hunter is. And some people they get a lot of a rush out of that, hunting something more exotic or something like that. So trophy hunting, in that context, it's been considered quite controversial because you're not hunting the animal for its food, which is what a natural order of things would be.
Who out here packing up a lion to put in their fridge?
Not many, I assume.
Who does that?
And again, I don't know how much of the animal, especially in trophy hunting, is used for other things, but typically trophy hunting is done for the trophy. So we're kind of
You can
talking about
keep a trophy though from a hunt that you take if
Absolutely.
it's a big one.
Sure.
absolutely, and this is more so along the lines of exotic animals
Yeah.
and
This is the
illegal
bi- yeah,
hunting,
Yeah.
poaching, and that kind of thing. So I wanted to ask you guys some of that, and I was really inspired for this topic because
You watched The Lion King?
no, that's funny, but
No, he watched
no.
Tiger King. Oh,
Tiger King, isn't that the?
Yeah, it's the one with the weirdo that's in jail.
I haven't seen this. Okay, so this happened in April of last year, okay? And I'm really it was so funny, okay? Cuz this really changed the way I kind of think about things, okay? Okay, so in April of 2024, okay? Botswana president Makwi
The Botswanian president.
Yes, the Botswanian president. Okay.
I've never
threatened-
heard that country
It's
in
in
my life.
Africa.
What?
Yes.
Botswana. It's in
Yeah,
Africa.
it's in
I've never
Africa.
heard of this. Okay.
So
I'm an ignorant American. I
the
acknowledge it.
Botswana president, okay, threatened to send 20,000 elephants to Germany as a gift in response to proposed bans on trophy hunting imports by the European country.
What?
Okay? So basically, Germany wanted to ban trophy hunting imports. Okay.
Meaning,
Interesting.
they
So-
wanted, yeah. So,
so-
if you're trying to bring in, let's say you do go, you get a deer ant, you get a really nice deer head. You
Yeah.
want to bring it back with you. The European Union was like, no.
Yeah, so they were voting for a potential legislation to basically block the importation of any trophy hunted things.
What
Okay.
they deem
So, like,
trophy
you know, it's like
hunting.
they went to, Botswana, okay, and they wanted to hunt an elephant, okay?
Yeah.
It's like, well, they want to ban imports of trophy hunted items.
Yeah.
Like
Interesting.
an elephant or something like that.
Okay.
The Botswana president claimed that the growing elephant population was causing problems for the people of Botswana, and that trophy hunting was a vital conservation practice that helped control the population. He said that hunting was also a source of revenue for Botswana. So a little bit more
I'm sorry.
on this.
What did you initially say? He's gonna
He's going to send the
He
elephants to
he's
Germany.
threatening to send 20,000 elephants to Germany.
I
as a
didn't know
gift.
he had that many elephants. That's a lot.
So yeah, let's get into a little bit.
Bro,
further.
he couldn't pay. No one could pay the gas to move 20,000 elephants. Continue.
Yeah,
What?
This is it's kind of a joke.
I gotcha.
So,
interesting. This is so interesting.
The Botswana president, okay, told the German newspaper Bild, BILD, I don't know what newspaper.
Whatever.
it is,
Some German newspaper.
that the elephant population had increased to over 130,000 as a result of conservation efforts, and that the animals were causing a plague. He also said that stricter limits on trophy imports would only make things worse for the people of Botswana, and that Germans should live together with the animals, as the Botswana president live together with the animals. The Botswana president added, "We want our elephants to roam freely. The German weather is bad for them. If you like them so much, please accept this gift from us." One additional thing he did say as well.
This is fascinating.
One additional thing he said to Germany is he said, "You should live with the animals the way you try to tell us to." So basically, what happened, okay, is Botswana is a huge place they help the elephant population from going extinct. Okay, so the population has recently risen to over 130,000. Okay,
Can I pause on that number?
Go ahead.
Okay. Look, I still pass a sign almost every other day.
Yeah,
when
there
we're
is. I
driving
know
out there.
exactly which one you're talking about. There's like four. There's one with a bee. There's one with I
Yep.
think a whale, and
What's
there's
it
one
say
with
on
an
it, Mikey?
elephant. Love it or lose it.
Love it or lose it. And it's like,
And
okay,
there's the
us in
elephant on
America,
there.
we're thinking it's like there might be 9,000 elephants that still exist in the wild.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I
That's
never looked
what
up
we
the
would
elephant
think. It's like,
population.
what do you mean there's 130,000 of them,
But that's
and
just
you have too
one
many?
area.
Yeah, in one area.
And we don't. Yeah, there's like multiple different.
And here's the thing:
species
the education we have in America. Okay, elephants, they have one baby at a time. The gestation period, whatever, is really long.
It's like over a year. It's like
Yeah,
13
it's-
months or
it's a
something.
Yeah,
lot.
it's something like that. It's
Might
like,
be longer,
it's like
I'm not
wait.
sure.
It's like, okay, I understand how there might be only 9,000 of these things left or something like that. It's like, wait. There's 130,000 of them, so much that they're a plague on this society.
Yeah, that they actually have to.
So
cull.
that's what they were kind of saying is they were saying that it's like they go into the roads, they go into the cities because they need more space now.
Yeah.
Because there's too many of them, so they need the hunting to kind of hold them back. And as anybody who's probably knows about hunting, okay, hunting is a tool we use to control populations. So when deer get out of control, the hunting thing, it's like, all right, it is
We talked about this.
open season or whatever for
Yep.
deer. Please, it's like, hey, it's
But
time
they
to go
have
ahead
you
and hunt
have
those.
limits, and you have same thing
Exactly.
with alligators. You have tags. You pay for all this stuff.
It's
Wait,
very
I'm pretty
regulated.
sure there's no limitation on alligators in
There
Florida.
is 100% limitation on
Are
all
there?
of them.
I,
Yeah.
th- I thought there was
Yeah.
no limitation because they're like
So-
these things are a menace.
No. So and their habitats are shrinking a lot too. Which makes them draw more towards human
See,
society.
that's the
and that
thing.
kind
It's
of
like what's the numbers here? It's like what do you? I didn't know there were 130,000 of these elephants in just one country.
Yes.
It's like what? Wait. It's
That's
like what do
'cause
you
we've done a
mean?
good job with conservation over
It's like
there.
that's
over the
more
years.
than like plenty of U.S. states have citizens. It's like what do you mean? No, maybe not. Maybe
No,
just
that was-
Rhode Island.
That was wrong. It was
We're
cities.
talking about cities. Yeah.
Cities. Okay,
Many-
sorry.
Yeah, more
it's
citizens.
it's weird.
So
It's weird. It's like this is not what I expected when I'm passing the sign, the faded sign that's tattering in its own self. It says "Love it or lose it," and the sign's fading away. It's
Yeah,
like
and it's got a giant elephant on it.
got a giant elephant on it. It's like oh shoot. It's like oh man. It's like us thinking of pandas. How many pandas are there?
The pandas are dying because they're stupid.
Sure.
They don't breathe. That's
Sure.
on them.
How many
So-
rhinoceros are there?
They actually
that's pretty bad.
That
there
one's
was
pretty
actually
bad.
a white rhino that was born the other day in the zoo.
No.
Yes.
Something.
Uh-oh.
I just read about it.
Be careful. You got to you got to cover that with Secret Service. Otherwise, someone's going to score a hit marker on that one
It's
too.
in a zoo.
You ain't gonna do it in a zoo. You can't claim your reward.
Who knows? I don't know. People are crazy. And also, do we want to talk about just trophy hunting and someone just scoring a hit on the president, former president?
Jeez.
I thought
You
that was the
brought it
transition.
up.
I thought that was the transition you were
No,
actually
I
going to go
wasn't-
for.
No.
Just checking.
You're a
No.
savage.
I'm just checking.
I wasn't gonna say that.
No, I mean,
Jeez.
it's mostly a joke, obviously. Obviously, the other matter's serious. Obviously, with these elephants, it's like, oh, apparently this is deer season over there. It's like, what?
Backwards in chat says he said, "I assume you know that there's more tigers in the U.S. than in any other country."
I wouldn't.
Yes,
be
I've heard
surprised.
that
Wouldn't be
plenty,
surprised. So
which is wild and insane.
You're
So
welcome.
discussing that kind of concept, okay, and that kind of
Yeah.
thing, that's kind of what Botswana's job has been. Is they have been the ones protecting the elephant populations
right,
and that
right.
kind of thing.
They fixed
So
them.
they're basically saying it's like, hey, we've got too many, and we fully oppose this ban for Germany to block
Well-
trophy hunting. And basically, to be honest, okay, this would be a silent blip on the radar, okay, but it's just so funny that he threatened.
Only
he's like,
because we're not in Botswana.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
That's like the revenue for their whole country.
No,
and it has to do with his quote specifically because it is a funny quote. They're not literally going to be able to send
it's a funny
20,000
quote,
elephants,
but I got a devil's advocate here because
Right.
this is my position on the couch.
go ahead.
Okay. Thinking about this, listen to this guy. Okay, he's saying it's like, oh well, why don't
called
you
their
deal with
bluff.
the animals and stuff? Which is funny. It's a funny bluff.
Well, yeah,
It's-
well, because
it's
it's
funny.
the whole. You're telling me how I should deal with this stuff.
Exactly.
We've been doing this for 50
Sure, and
years.
And we're successful.
Yeah,
The
and-
elephants we're doing a great job
Sure,
keeping the elephant population going.
We've also seen this tactic used elsewhere, such as the busing of immigrants to sanctuary cities in America.
Yep.
That was another bluff that was called, and they
Yep.
did it.
Yep.
You voted for it.
So here's
I
the
think
thing:
bluffs are good to call, to be honest.
No, I
it
100%
forces
agree.
change.
it
you know?
makes the world interesting. That's for
That's
sure.
so true.
if you're
it's
gonna,
so much
if
more
you're gonna
interesting.
virtue signal and commit that way, then
I
we're
was just
gonna
mentioning.
commit-
I'm not looking to get political about it, but I was mentioning because that's extremely similar. They're calling a bluff here.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Obviously, you can't ship 20,000 elephants to Germany. It's
I
not
don't
going to
know.
happen.
You don't
it,
know.
It would cost way too much. Big difference
maybe
between
he's
driving
wor-
a bus and driving a shipping
Now-
container ship that ships ships.
I do admit I have not looked at an update. This was last April. They could have the ban might have not even gone into effect. It might have been canceled
That
outright.
would be an
I'm not really
eco-terrorist
sure.
attack if this, if this
So
literally
sure.
happened. They just open the gates. They just let them free. They start roaming up in a port city or
That would
something.
be so cool.
Just elephants everywhere.
I would love it so much.
But here's the thing. Okay,
just put a couple.
here's
I mean,
the
Hannibal took them into Rome. Just like you can make a you can take them make a bridge like a land bridge
Yeah.
and just say be free, go get them.
Jeez, make an elephant train. They're all grabbing the tails, and they're just walking in the train. It's like, how do we stop this? It's like, you don't.
You get out of the way.
You
You
figure
get
it
out of
out.
the way, yeah.
We know
Your problem now.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so here.
Leave well
so
enough alone.
the fence sitting, okay. Here's the thing. Germany, they're being like, oh, we're going to try and do things right. We're going to try and save the animals, which I'm not actually besmirching here. But I'm saying from their privileged position of not having to live with these animals.
They don't
it's
know
like,
that they've been
we're not,
saving them.
We're going to try and save the animals.
It's like that-
Botswana here,
It's like the guy from the country in South America where they were like, he just found the big oil depot, and they were like, but it could cost, this much in carbon. He's like, we have the largest forest that we've kept alive.
Yeah.
oh,
Remember that?
you want to
Yeah,
talk about carbon credits? Woo!
Yeah, that's
They
what he's
got
saying.
plenty for having them woods.
similar to that.
But here's the thing. Okay, Botswana might be being a little coy here because they may be playing two games. Because right now it's like, okay, so yes, they did indeed clearly foster or harbor a breeding ground for specifically elephants to get up to 20,000 of them. Here's the thing:
100.
120,000 of. You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Great correction. That's a very important distinction. An extra one on the front of the number. It might be a little coy. They may be playing two sides of the coin. Are they not basically feeling like maybe they earned the privilege to basically host trophy hunting, host poaching?
No, they're
Money?
saying they're basically saying
Tourism.
that is
because-
part of their
yeah.
tourism because people come there because they need.
They
I,
said
I, feel,
it.
I feel like when they
They
when
said
they
it's a huge part of their revenue.
exactly. So here's the thing. I feel like when they metaphorically signed the decree that said we're gonna be a sanctuary for elephants. I feel like most people who are like, yes, and all clapping, did not expect the clause of, oh, yeah, we're also, when we get enough of them, we're going to start selling the opportunity to shoot them for massive profits.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you need to shoot them, so why not make profit out of it? You can't. You have to cull the herd. It's
You gonna
same
like
here-
euthanize
same
like a
in-
bunch of them? Maybe.
Same in Illinois. We have, and I have a quote or a deer population statistic.
Yeah.
The white-tailed deer has to be, otherwise it's going to trample everything, and it's going to just destroy the nature as it is. Think about those deers we talked about in California in another podcast.
Yeah.
Yep. We did discuss on that little island, they're
Yep.
degrading the land. They're
Exactly.
like, just move them. It's like, we tried, they start getting like,
They go crazy. So
they literally go crazy and they cease to function. They can't
if
move them
that's
fast
the situation, you might as well take advantage of the fact that, all right, they have to be poached to not only save the elephants that are already alive, and well as the people that live there and the whole country itself. Why not have the people pay? Because then you use that money, which I found a lot of places do that. They put it right back into the conservation effort.
Yeah.
There's taxes.
That's
How do you think
if
they
anybody
got
knows anything about.
120,000?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
If anybody knows anything about hunting, okay, it's like they're some of the number one conservation efforts when it comes to animals and population and that kind of thing. Like there's really strict regulations on hunting and that kind of thing, and they know that they need to keep that in line. And as far as more if they do,
yeah, hunters are probably the biggest conservationist people you ever find. I'd say a good chunk of hunters. There's always, like I said, the crazy ones we were talking about earlier. And I do know someone mentioned it. We'll talk about that because I saw it. But yeah, they want it because I like fishing. You know, people know that. Well, I want my kids and grandkids and great grandkids and great grandkids to be able to enjoy this. So we got to make sure that they're around to enjoy.
Yep.
So
Yeah, that was a big tangent, but
it was, and it's kind of the introduction to the
interesting.
topic here.
Yeah.
Okay, so my base question, okay, and I got inspired by this when we had that awesome podcast about reviving the woolly mammoth, and I made jokes about trophy hunting the mammoths, you know, and feeding that profit into the conservation effort of reviving.
You know how we talked about that white rhino being born, and I joked about someone getting a hit marker on that thing. And it's like, oh no, you can't take it. It's like no. If there was a woolly mammoth, someone will try and score a hit on that thing just to say that they are
Absolutely
someone who's done this. Who they have, whether they could take the trophy home or not. Clearly, they would not be able to. Imagine that. God, that effort alone. But the factor is like someone's going to want their own little personal glory. It's like, yeah, I killed a woolly mammoth. We haven't done that in 12,000 some odd whatever plus years or something like that. But I did it, you know, whether they could take it home or not.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's interesting.
Anyway, so that conversation really, that initial conversation with the woolly mammoth and all that, it really added plus the sending 20,000 elephants. I don't know what it is about the elephants, okay, and me wanting to trophy hunt them or not really, but
What?
you know.
Wait, what? Wait.
As a
Elephant,
concept.
bro.
Chuck wants to trophy
It's a
hunt elephants.
tank.
He
No,
just said
wait,
it.
that's not what I meant. But basically, between those two conversations, it really made me think about my views on trophy hunting, and I started to kind of change and shift my views in trophy hunting. When it comes to elephants, it's like it seems like their population is doing well. And people know this. Okay, it's like if a population of animal gets out of control, they will destroy their habitat and then they will die. But it will destroy the habitat for so many other species around them. Okay, so it is dangerous to let a species get out of hand. It can really upset nature and its balance.
Yeah, if you want to talk about ecosystems and stuff, keeping a balance is popular. Of course,
we devastated wolf populations, you know, in the United States early on. Okay,
and that's why
we have explosive deer populations.
And then we introduced them to Yellowstone to handle. Maybe it was the bison.
Yeah, I don't think you know what you're talking about.
No, that happened. It's fine. Whatever.
Real quick, so for example, the white-tailed deer populations have increased from about 500,000 in the early 1900s to 25 to 30 million.
Whoa!
What?
That's bad. So, you know, never mind. I'm not going to say anything on that. What are your guys' opinions on trophy hunting? Are you guys okay with this concept? Are you guys against it, as a stance? I mean, for me early on, it was very easy to stand against it. I didn't think that hunting was like. I never liked the concept of hunting. Okay, it's never really been in my thing. But I had to admit, I could not believe, but when we had that mammoth conversation, it really reminded me. I was just like, imagine how much money they can make by trophy hunting a mammoth, okay?
Yeah.
And using that money to fund the program,
Yeah.
for more, basically bringing back some of these animals or helping these exotic animal populations. I'm not saying that I want somebody to go out and shoot a panda bear, okay? But at the same time,
pandas are screwed. They're on.
They
no
are.
one wants them to shoot a panda bear. Panda bears are shooting themselves.
so it's like how okay.
That's a pretty dark cycle.
It is.
That's a very
shooting a
dark
tiger. Okay, how many
cycle.
people want to trophy hunt a tiger? I'm not saying it's a great idea. I don't like the idea.
I love
But at the
tigers.
same time, okay, how much money are people willing to pay to do that?
Lots.
Could we use that money like as a funnel to put it into reviving the population of tigers? How much money could we put into this for trophy hunting a few of these things?
Oh boy.
Is this
Okay.
a valid source of revenue? Could they use it as a system to bring back many exotic animals?
Look.
know?
Okay.
And
here-
it works with capitalism.
look. If it's gonna
Capitalism
happen,
friendly.
if it's gonna happen, you may as well find the best way to utilize that bad thing. And in a sense, it's like, look, people are gonna shoot them. It's like, all right, arguably, here, the drug crisis. It's like, all right, well, look, if you legalize it and sell it, then you could use all that money to help rehab
And-
people,
But that
which
failed
is its own.
ethically in Oregon or Washington. They already reversed it.
Yeah.
That already happened. I'm like talking like I don't know, weed and stuff like that. It's like,
That also didn't work because the taxes are so high.
Money.
look,
Hey,
I don't
capitalism
know. Look,
friendly.
my point is like, look, if you want to do dark capitalism for a good cause, I guess it's like, so you go the dark capitalism route. Capitalism
You
makes
consider it
money.
dark, though. You call it dark capitalism.
Can I add on to your comment there a little?
Please.
So, like, for example, you called it like dark capitalism, and I understand. I get why people would be like kind of having an adverse opinion on it.
Yeah.
And then you look at the story for Botswana. It's just like the population's out of control.
So
But it's a humble animal. Nobody wants to mess with an elephant.
How am I the one who's sitting on the
I'm
moral
shocked
good
that
side of the fence? What's
you're
going
not
on
the,
here?
You're not on the moral good side of the
No,
fence.
no. I'm sitting on the side of the people who think they are the moral good side of the fence.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying specifically. I'm not saying they're
traditional-
the moral good. I'm saying, yeah, it's sitting on the traditional, like, you can't kill things, that's bad. That kind of thing. I didn't expect to be defending this side.
I don't know. When you say that someone said when they accurately track the funds, when it's taxed, they know where that money's going.
Yeah.
Especially in Africa.
Taxes very specifically, they know if it's like, hey, we're a private corporation that's going to help fund these animals, whatever, and their
Some
things
have
and
done
stuff.
that
And it's like,
extremely
well, it's behind a
successfully.
private wall, and it's like, well, they only put like 5% of every dollar, and also they skip the last 7 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can then just get their records.
Maybe, but then you got to go through court. The court has to bother to look. They're all bogged down with all sorts of other nonsense in the courts.
Tax-
Other people doing
and that's a
legalese,
good-
and it's like
That's a good. I agree. It's like
But
tax
that's
the
what
heck out of
private-
it.
cost of doing
But
business.
that's, again, you're assuming a private organization is doing this. Most of this is led by the individual countries.
No,
So that's
I'm not
tax
dissing. I'm talking about where it can go wrong, but maybe that's off the course here. It's I don't know. This is
Can't fight it.
no, but here, it's hard for me to sit on the side of the fence because I'm always like, it's like, look, we understand a business sense. We understand why a business makes its decisions, and people are like, Nintendo, why are you always doing this? This is so dumb. You shouldn't be going after mods. You shouldn't be going after fan things. This is stuff that helps your thing. You shouldn't go after streamers. It's like, guys, it's their business right to do so.
Yeah.
So a business is gonna business. They're gonna do what they do to make as much money as humanly possible. Where do they make more money? Artificial scarcity. How do they make it more scarce? Don't let people start streaming their stuff and showing it everywhere, and let people watch the entire story unfold, so they don't have to buy the next Nintendo game.
Yeah, see, the problem is this
know,
is different. You're trying to remove the scarcity.
yeah.
And this isn't really a big issue here in America. And
Yeah, very true.
Because Teddy Roosevelt, in the 1900s, established the national park situation because of things that occurred where we almost decimated a lot of the populations.
Yep.
So since 1901 is when he did it, this isn't too big of a deal. There was the lion. I know the lion started up the Cecil lion. Thanks for I did read that. Like that's when it started up again, where everyone's like, oh, it's evil, and this is that. But like I said, if you look at it and it's done correctly, which I mean, they do that stuff here in Illinois. I know they do it with the deer population because there's a ridiculous amount. That's when they started looking at it worldwide, but a lot of these countries as well use it, especially in Africa mostly, use that revenue as a source of money to use for conservation. So they basically are, like you said, because they have so many elephants, we can spare a few hundred elephants, make a couple $1,000,000. Not only A, help the elephants that are alive, B, help the land that we're on, but also get millions of dollars to put back into. Clearly, they've done a good job if they have over
It's clearly working,
130,000 elephants. Now, I'm not saying every country's that way. I wouldn't trust a lot of African countries to begin with because they're notoriously corrupt just because of, I don't want to say cartels, juntas, whatever you want to call them, unfortunately. But clearly, Botswana is doing well. Yeah, there's a good chunk of the middle. But yeah, it's not a big thing here in America because really the biggest problems we have to are deer. We don't have like elephants.
We don't have any
roaming
exotic animals.
Yeah, we don't really have any exotic animals.
We had mammoths, but we destroyed them.
We have our own interesting
destroy
things.
We didn't destroy them. They were dead before we got here.
Wolves I think have since kind of come back, especially if you look at it, you have 25 million deer. The wolves are clearly, which is why you need to cull the deer, is because you need more. You need a pretend or to keep equilibrium. That's what
Sure,
I'm looking
yeah,
for.
yeah.
The only thing I think we could argue about is clearly. I mean, Chuck's stance surprised me. I expected to be the only one that would be okay with the concept of trophy hunting in terms of, like I said, number one, if you're out hunting normally, like legally, and you kill a deer that's like got a lot of antlers, like that, you can take as a trophy. People do it with fish all the time. You don't hear any problems with that. If you catch like a monster fish,
A monster fish.
you mount that because it's like, especially if you're a nature enthusiast like that, like me, like I just catch fish, throw them back. I don't catch them to eat them because I don't eat fish and all that.
Yeah.
But like if you catch a really nice buck or something, you're like, this is the best I've ever seen. Yeah, you're going to use the rest of the body already. The head really has no use.
Yeah.
So might as well mount it on your wall.
Mikey, I
got
want to
something say for
see
that too.
So-
one quick thing. Mikey, I want to see a photo of you holding up a fish you caught.
I have some when I was a child.
Yeah, you have to have these. You have to have these. I
But
gotta see
so
these.
I'm all good with it as long as like it's done that way in terms of like said it's more used, and I wouldn't even call it trophy hunting at that point. That would just be hunting, in my opinion, because it's required to do, because otherwise you're gonna ruin the land.
Yeah.
I thought this, more along the lines like, as long as people aren't out there just shooting, like riding around shooting, elephants or
So
Yeah, like the guys on the train shooting the
lions or-
bison off of a train for
well, you
fun.
can't shoot deer. You can't shoot deer in a car. That's illegal. Like you can go to jail.
You
Nick,
should
they weren't
not
doing that
shoot
for
a deer
fun.
in a car. If they're driving, they're a citizen, clearly. Do not shoot deer in a car.
That's not funny.
oh my god.
Because my sister, you watch a bunch of nature shows. The one thing I would argue is that apparently there is a form of hunting where, and I'm on the fence about this one, I will admit, where they're specifically bred, and it's called, I guess, canned hunting.
Yeah.
There's a lot of places that are actually.
Yeah, well, all this elephant stuff.
That's not canned hunting.
Oh, it sure is. They were all bred.
No, that's
They
not
were all
the
bred
same.
for
There's
existence.
No, that's them trying to make sure the population.
You're being a troll. Yeah, this is specifically bred. So, for example, ranch hunting is a form of big game hunting where the animals hunted are specifically bred on a ranch for trophy hunting purposes.
That's strange.
Many species of game, such as the Indian black buck, Nigali axis deer, I can't even pronounce it, a barsinga, the Iranian red sheep, and a variety of other species from Africa, Asia, Pacific Islands. And it happened in, Texas and Florida. They're hunted for a fee on each kill, while hunters will pay $4,000 or more to be able to hunt these things.
Wow.
And the government takes like a 10%. I'm on the fence about that. There actually are hunting organizations that denounce this because they don't believe in it. It gives it's not fair chase, is what they call it.
Yeah.
You can't, they don't have a fair chance to escape you.
It doesn't sound very like glory filled.
No, but some of these some of them are done on land that's so ridiculously huge so I'm on the fence about that type of stuff because I don't.
I have a thought here. I think trophy hunting should only be legal without a scope.
Without a scope.
Without a scope, you got to be in range of that animal coming after you.
No, I
fair fight.
That's funny.
Look, where's the glory in it?
So for me,
No
it
scopes.
would just be my only opinion on that would be like you obviously don't want things to turn into what they are here in the United States to feed our country, and we're not going to go into animal farms or anything like that.
No.
But like if they're on a range. I don't care if it's a nature preserve or something like that, like specifically for it, and they have hunting times or something like that. Yeah. As long as they can live their life as the animal that they are, I would be fine with that. I assume an elephant range is like what, a bunch of flat land over a large amount of flat land.
It's large range for a large animal.
So, like, as long as the animals are being kept in a healthy environment for them, that it's not like they're like in a cage or in a building. For the most part, I would say it's fine. If they're just in a grassy pasture like a cow, it's like, okay, that's a problem for tigers. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they would need to have their own environment that would make sense. But other than that, like, to be honest, I'm kind of all for it. I don't care about can hunting or whatever. I think it would have to do more along the lines of, again, it's like, okay, how much of the money is being used to protect the animals, to go back into their populations or help them, especially when it comes to we're talking trophy hunting. Most of these things are either going extinct or whatever, are threatened species.
I don't feel like that's trophy hunting at that point. That's poaching.
Which is the direction I thought this conversation was actually going to be going in.
Poaching is illegal hunting. Trophy hunting is.
Yeah, but you can't
legal wherever it is.
Yeah, but you can't trophy hunt an endangered animal.
You can if the country allows you to. I'm not saying it's
because it's an endangered animal.
Yeah, but
Botswana can make their own rules.
But
anyone can make their own rules.
Who's the United States to tell them they can't trophy hunt in their own country? You know what I mean?
The law has.
But whose law?
The United States law.
Yeah, but if you're in Botswana, it doesn't apply to them.
Okay, cool. You're saying, that's what I'm saying. You can't hunt them. It's hunting. It's poaching,
that's poaching,
if you're following against the law.
Yeah, poaching is illegal. Trophy hunting would be. It's like this would be a legal thing that is allowed in a particular country.
Yeah, typically
likely
highly paid
illegal
for.
in other countries. Or a shady business.
So, specifically for this topic of trophy hunting, you're specifically excluding illegal poaching.
Yes, I'm not for
poaching.
Because often
illegal poaching is for sport and trophy hunting.
Yes, and that's why I'm saying it's kind of like a lot of people talk about different things like prostitution or something. Okay, it's like trophy hunting. I think, like, depending on the country, it's up to the country to decide this. Okay, I think it should be a legal, regulated process. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that could be very fascinating. It could be good for, and then that way it's like, okay, hey, this is regulated. This is here to serve a certain purpose. Okay, number one, it makes money, but number two, it's like
the money is
going back into conservation efforts to restore the animal, but at the same time, it's a commercial success or whatever to help make money as well. It's like call it a profit system. Or whatever.
It also helps the country evolve. So, I mean, a lot of African countries are third world countries, as we know. I don't know about Botswana.
That's a serious business that they could run.
Exactly what I'm saying is I don't know about Botswana, but clearly they have generated a lot of income, and they've done a fantastic job if they're up to 130,000 elephants in just Botswana.
This sounds so capitalist, this entire thing.
The
acceptance of this sounds so capitalist.
But that's why you have to look at it at a slightly different angle. It's like, okay, look at Botswana.
Yeah.
Germany doesn't have the elephants there. They just want to say, oh, well, we're for protecting the animal. Guess what? So is Botswana. But look and they did that. You're welcome.
I'd imagine.
But we can only do so much until it's like, all right, we're going to be gone. If we get to 200,000 elephants, everyone dies, and elephants included.
We have elephants in the streets,
and
that kind of thing. In the cities.
Okay, I have a feeling.
It's probably wrong.
That Germany's thought on, hey, no trophy animal imports and stuff was probably to curb illegal poaching.
Absolutely.
Specifically.
Absolutely.
Maybe they think it's morally wrong. Someone
was
thinks
probably
it's morally
too
wrong. You
broad.
shouldn't kill animals or something like that. I don't feel like that's going to go up to the highest degree of the law. I think they have a different sort of reason for
European
bringing this,
Union.
enacting this. I have a feeling this might be to curb imports of like a rhinoceros. This might be to curb imports of, I don't know, pandas, tigers, lions, whatever, exotic animals, not extinct, going extinct animals, stuff like that, to curb that and really prosecute that. I have a feeling it has nothing to do with Botswana's specific
But
opportunity assailing of elephants.
but the problem is you make a law
Yeah.
and you make it very broad.
Yes.
How do you know Germany doesn't say that elephant tusk is endangered or
Sure.
that's illegal?
And that's
now
the
that
thing.
man
They
just
may
wasted-
not know.
They don't because it's not their land. That's what he's saying.
So, and another
you
addition
spend
to this,
$10,000 to hunt these elephants legally because they're calling the population as they need to,
Yep,
and
yep.
you can't bring in what you did because
because it's illegal
Germany.
in
I'm
Germany.
just using Germany because they're
they're specific.
not crapping on Germany. I'm assuming it's the European Union, which is France and Germany and other stupid people.
Mikey.
I don't like the European Union. They're useless. They might actually do better though. They had some decent elections. But they're trying to say you can't bring it in because we think it's immoral or it's illegal. It's like, bro, like I did this legally though. Like I've got documentation.
I'd imagine
Germany might think it's illegal, even if Botswana says it's okay.
Yeah, because Germany
Yeah.
thinks they have the moral high ground. You said they're not taking it through the lens of Botswana. Well,
Yep.
we've done. It's the same thing again, like I said with the oil, where it's like we've done the work. We're the ones that are protecting these animals. You're not, because obviously they're not in Germany.
Yep.
And if they are in Germany, they're in
Still,
a zoo.
could this not be a cheap shot from Botswana?
No,
Standing
So,
on both sides of a fence.
it's their.
We're a
it's their
harbinger for
country.
elephants,
They did everything
and we let you pay to kill them.
because
So-
they physically have too many.
So,
if they let them go
I feel
out
like
of
it's a cheap fake.
I need to. Okay, so like looking at the-
130,000 elephants is not fake.
No, I'm
So
joking,
let's
Mikey.
let's look at how their actual situation goes here. Okay, number one. Okay, 130,000 elephants is a lot. Okay, but they might still be considered endangered throughout most of the world, or
I don't think so.
through their other.
I think elephants are good now.
They probably are.
if
Maybe they
there's
are.
130,000 of them,
Let me look.
they're doing.
It's not a
pretty
million
well.
population. You know what I mean?
It's not a million population.
It's not-
But there's-
in fact,
you have
it's
to
not
remember
even- it's a
there's-
tenth of a million.
Yeah, but you have to remember that could be either A in just Botswana or B just a specific type of
Type, yeah.
elephant. So
So okay, Germany might be. Like you said, okay. So for example, the German law, it's like, well, maybe they need to have more of an exception on it. It's like, and Botswana just they took a. It's a really funny comment, okay?
Yeah,
Because
it's funny.
for them in their particular position. It's like, well, does that really need to apply to us? Because like we're doing a good job, and I understand you don't want to import, this other elephant over here, or maybe even from a neighboring country where the population is still like non-existent because whatever. So perhaps Botswana might be looking at this as like, hey, could you just update this, please? Because we're doing a good job, and to be honest, we're doing this and handling it in a good way. And the way I'm kind of looking at it is, number one, okay, Germany has the right to block imports. It's their country; they can decide.
Yeah.
At the same time, Botswana has the total freedom to educate people on why they're wrong. Okay, and then to top it all off, is it possible? And again, I don't know all the issues that go on in Botswana or anything like that. But is it possible that Botswana is ahead of the game when it comes to these kind of legal challenges and that kind of thing? Where it's like, hey, yeah, obviously, trophy hunting, especially poaching, okay, needs to be controlled. Okay, it's like, but if it's regulated well, it's like this is a system that can work. And while your ban makes sense in the past, we're handling this in the present. We're already at the point where we can handle this kind of thing. We're regulating it, and it's going through the right channels. You know what I mean? So that's why kind of it brought up such an interesting question for me of the legality or like how, if we should make trophy hunting a legal thing, especially a regulated legal thing. And if we could turn this into a good system that can actually help the populations, like we do with deer. It's like we have to control them.
that's because there's way too many.
There's way too many, and when it comes to elephants, it's like these are enormous animals. They're not like they're not like a smaller animal. They need space. They need to spread out, and they're spreading out into their cities, their villages, their roads, and that kind of thing. So yeah, I just thought that was a particularly interesting topic in general. I did have another question though, and this kind of I want to kind of hit the moral aspects of it, okay? Because hunting already hits, like when it comes to hunting, okay, there's multiple stops, okay? Some people see hunting and bam, stop. They don't like it, okay? Some people see, open season, animal culling or that kind of thing. They're like, they see that and they're like, bam, stop. And it's like, no, it's too far or
They
whatever.
see
okay?
it's like it's clearly bad.
They see endangered animal, bam, stop. Okay, and when it comes to trophy hunting, it's pretty far back. There's multiple bucks to get through here, and you get all the way to the back, and you get this like trophy hunting like exotic animals. Okay, and it's like how many stops did you have to get through to even ask the question if this should be a concept, And so let's go into a little moral thing real quick here. Native Americans historically, okay, were famous for how they used like every part of the animal. They're like they're
waste.
considered. So when you think of Native Americans and that kind of thing, and how we've at least been taught about it, and that they did an excellent job of using all of the animal, like every way. Okay, and I wouldn't say. I don't know if the European hunter, okay, coming over here in that early time, okay, was using every part of the animal. I don't know how well hunting does that, okay. I know with deer they do a pretty good job. It's a pretty heavy system. It's like, what do you do with all this extra whatever? Because it's like blah blah blah, and they find ways to use it all. When it comes to trophy hunting, okay, I don't know how big of a market there is for the additional parts of the bodies of these animals. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at it,
We haven't found a way to capitalize that yet.
Exactly. So, it's like you have the body of an elephant. Somebody wanted to trophy hunt this elephant. They got the head mounted on the wall. You get a lot of extra elephant, okay? I don't know who's looking for elephant burgers right now or anything like that. But my point is, okay, is another stop, okay, is what about skins? Okay? I know there's
Like
been a
leather?
pushback. Yeah, there's been a pushback of natural furs, okay? Hunted from different animals. There's been a pushback for like crocodile skin, bags and that kind of thing. You see a lot of fake versions of it now, including both furs and reptilian skins and that kind of thing. How do you guys feel about that? We're looking at a lot of wasted animal with trophy hunting. Does it matter? Is the conservation effort and the money going back into the cycle, is that enough to counterbalance the wasted animal?
We don't know what they do though. Why don't you have to tell me?
Well, my point is, is a lot of people do stop it. It's like, hey, if you're wasting the animal, you shouldn't be killing it.
Not to be crude,
and this
but
is a trophy hunting.
were we not just gonna mulch that thing into mulch and use it as a fertilizer?
So
not to be a crazy person, maybe I'm ignorant, but
you probably could.
Like whatever's not used, it's like it just goes into the mulch and the dirt.
But a lot of moral views might look at that and be like, you're not using the animal.
What
you
a
really
waste,
are just like you're just using it as a prop.
Maybe they're growing heirloom tomatoes. I'm kidding.
So, what are your thoughts on that? Because a lot of people, they stop it. It's like, hey, if you're wasting the body of the animal, you shouldn't have killed it in the first place. And that is a moral dilemma between trophy hunting, which is the ultimate, I'm getting a thing out of it, not using the animal for meat or eating or feeding my family. And at the same time, is there enough of a counterbalance?
Can you eat an elephant? No, I'm
Maybe.
just asking for
Maybe
research. I really don't know.
And I don't know, but like
we're not like in a high enough percentile of like the the U.S. economy to know if you can eat an elephant or not. We're not up there.
So you can think carbon credits, okay?
Sure.
You have some companies that like they're the highest carbon producers of the world, but they purchase carbon credits from other companies, okay? So I'm saying kind of similar in concept is the trade-off of, hey, highly regulated, going back into conservation efforts, is that trade-off enough to justify the wasting of the body at that point? For you, at least, maybe personally.
Oh, look, I don't know. I'm hearing this, and it's like, look, people, I think a whole lot more people are going to be more along the lines of, how could you kill this beautiful animal? What a waste of life. And I'm not talking about like the Native Americans use every part of it.
Bump in here real quick.
Go ahead.
So I did look. They technically, the elephant, this type of elephant, the African bush elephant, is listed as endangered. However, It's distributed across 37 African countries. Right here it says um, approximately 42 Africa's largest population lives in Botswana with 131,000 um, 600
Number went up.
yeah.
Here, can I make a cheap, ignorant comment? Wouldn't it be easier to ship these elephants to the other neighboring countries,
They
not
probably do.
Germany?
I think they said they do.
No,
that.
I know
There's
they probably
suppliers.
do.
But they may not
It might be
be able to
heavily
live.
jungled or whatever the junk. I don't know where this is. So it's
The
probably
Botswana's in South America, like the south of Africa.
yeah.
So like that, but
Oh, I
there's
see,
three
okay.
different types of elephants. But you have to understand, these elephants live on the plains, whereas like an Asian elephant is different. It's more of a jungle elephant. So you can't just ship them to a different part of Africa, and especially you don't trust some of these places like Africa because they've already gone extinct there.
Yeah.
And you can see that they're already reintroducing it in certain parts. But you're right. It was just, but he's calling their bluff. I don't think it has anything. You could try to ship them out there, but they may not live.
Like I said, it's a cheap comment because it's
It
like
would-
we don't know the logistics of moving elephants,
No,
and clearly, if
I
it were
don't
that
believe-
easy, they would have solved it by now.
I don't believe he was ever serious. I think it was just
No,
to
of
draw
course.
attention to it. Hey, can we need some exceptions on this bill, for
Look,
us. and that
I'm
kind of
sorry. My
thing.
comment was actually just that lame tweet under the article. You know, that's what that was. That was adding to the conversation. Yeah, but back to your initial question or whatever about this is like, look, I don't think people are concerned whether or not you're going to utilize every part of the elephant. I think they're disappointed that a living elephant died.
Yeah,
For the sake of some guy wants some personal glory.
absolutely. And I think
I-
that's a reality of all hunting, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah.
Like it's like if you hunt a bunny, oh, it's so cute, you killed a
Who
bunny.
hunts a
Why'd you
bunny?
hunt? Why'd you kill the bunny? And that kind of thing.
I need to make some lucky rabbit's foots
Deer-
because I like to carry around a dead rabbit's foot.
Deer
on me.
doesn't. Deer don't
For luck.
help. Deer are like, they're dumb as a sack of bricks. They have a really tiny little head, that kind of thing. I don't think they don't seem like they're maybe visually as, I don't know, pleasing as a larger animal. Even a
Yeah.
dog is like a much larger head than a deer. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And it's adorable.
Plus
you know?
deer, but we also have to come from the example of deer is very common for us in America.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, to be fair, deer specifically in America are very equivalent to this elephant problem. Deer are a serious problem here in America. Like,
Especially in our state.
yeah, I mentioned this maybe a while ago on like one of our shows or whatever, but I was like driving here to do the show. No, I was going to work or something, and during the day, a whole fleet of deer ran across the highway as I was driving, and I was like, I don't know, I was like adjusting the radio or something.
Excuse us. Continue, Nick.
Yeah, I was adjusting the radio, and Royce pointed out, he said, deer. And I was like, what? And I look up, and there's a whole fleet of deer crossing the road. Rather specifically, one crossed in front of me, and I had to, I had to brake tap to not hit this thing. And then I looked in my rearview mirror, and about, 7 or 8 of them all together started bounding across the road behind it. I was like, holy cow. That's interesting. And I didn't expect to see him during the day of all times. It's like normally it's at night. So, I don't know. America has its own trouble. Obviously, deer are not wandering into our cities and towns.
Yeah, they are. You
are
ever
they?
seen them where they're in people's houses?
Yeah, it's in someone's backyard. It's like, there's a deer out here, dang it.
By the way, I actually, speaking of that, I was driving the other night, and
Mm-hmm.
I was going from a back road from one location to another road, and I didn't know where I was at. And I turn right, and there's just like a bridge,
Mm-hmm.
and I turn my brights on, and there's just 2 deer but it's just they're not crossing the bridge, they're crossing,
Oh
walking towards me, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna slow down, and I just let them go, and then you move on.
Yeah, I don't know. It's its own thing. Chuck, your Budamus is going to be all over this camera.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. We got a nice close
We
shot.
had
of
an
it.
incident, and we accidentally banned the Diddlebot temporarily, so we are
No way.
we are
Oh my god.
we are reintroducing him into the chat. That's what we're doing.
Oh my god. Here, I got one additional story for with Chuck in particular. Chuck was driving me home in his very nice new vehicle. and we had our own experience with deer up close and very personal. Not cool. I'm sure it cost him a boatload of money to fix
You
that
should have paid
mess.
him.
That dumb
It
animal.
was your fault.
It wasn't my fault.
He didn't have. I mean, if you had a car, he wouldn't have had to
Look,
bring
look,
it
like
home.
it's its own thing. There's semantics everywhere. It's fine. But the thing is that yeah, America has its own problem. Like to be fair,
But
you
again-
hear the Botswana problem, and they're
Yeah,
like,
but again, I feel like we're maybe it's also one where we live, but two, like it's not a huge thing because like what do we have? We have deer and
Deer.
wolves, and like wolves are the
we
biggest.
even have wolves.
Yeah, they're out. They're out. There's a big issue with them out west because like people,
Sure.
like some ranchers will shoot them. Like certain, like for example, Colorado and some of the those states are like you can't shoot them at all. But then like Wyoming and Montana, they have a
They're like, no.
they have a they can protect your land clause where it's like if the wolf enters your habitat of where you're ranching, because you have animals there, then they can do that. So that's right now is really the big one is out west is the wolves because like I said they'll come on to cattle lands and kill the cattle, and it's like that's a lot of money I'm losing. Whereas I can just shoot the wolf, and some states are like oh that's mean. It's like bro, but the wolf came out of my property. So that's the one issue we really have. Other than that, like I said, because of early efforts, at least early in our nation's history, they in 1901 they passed that Federal Protection Act. For the most part, I don't think we've ran into this issue.
I gotta say, just how civilized society it is to expect animals to abide by land ownership.
The fence.
Yeah, the fence, and it's like oh we're shooting these animals that may or may not be like declining in population because it's gonna kill my cattle that I put on this land in a
kill my
fence
money.
and just has
Well,
roaming
to be
around
fair,
and I want to sell it for
his
money.
life. That's literally his life.
No, I understand. No, I for sure, and that's the crazy great thing
You
about
get mad
the
if
world.
people started popping your tires and stuff.
Oh sure,
Especially if it was a deer.
sure, but it's like maybe we shouldn't have cars and tires, and maybe that shouldn't be a thing. We should be fighting with sticks and stones and picking berries.
Well, that's if
The world
we
would
were
be
in
a better place.
California, then we would. That's how they live. But we're not
Jesus.
talking about. We don't want to be over in California.
Oh my god.
Okay, so just to kind of wrap it up. Do you guys have any more of that?
I have.
No.
I took a poll.
Oh, very nice. I would let's discuss that.
I took a poll about this. This was in the Discord. Pulling it up. Here we go. Okay. Now, here to be clear, okay, I
He might
had
have
to word
worded
this
it
on my
wrong.
yeah, I had to word this very specifically because Chuck didn't want to word it because he didn't get around to it before I did.
He's got 5
So
kids.
I
this
will
difficult to
read a
word?
sentence, and this is the terms that other people answered to.
Okay.
It may not be perfect to this topic,
Sure, that's
but I did my best. Okay. The poll was, we're talking trophy hunting, and I don't mean on the PSN. Hunting rare and exotic animals. Does this belong in the modern age? Okay, that was the question.
Which again, I also think this topic went different than I expected to.
Yeah.
No offense.
No, for sure. I'm baffled. I can't believe I had to devil's advocacy the other side. I'm baffled.
I'm not surprised. You always devil advocacy.
No,
the
of course.
other side.
I love it. It's discussions are the best. Oh, it's such a good time. Anyways, 33% of the vote said yes, this belongs to the modern age. Trophy hunting.
I voted yes.
67% of the vote voted no, this does not belong in the modern age.
So
And here's the thing. People could have been thinking a few different ways. They could have been thinking about poachers specifically. When I think of trophy hunting exotic, I think someone's going out there illegally shooting a lion with some like hunting party
That's
that
because
kind of
that's what
cultivates
the
this to
media
happen.
has kind of shown
That-
over, the movies and things from like back in the day. Like,
Yeah.
you see the guy in the big safari hat.
Sure, and then,
Yeah.
well, and then you hear about the conservation people who are like literally have to carry guns to shoot at poachers to
Yeah.
protect the animals. And it's like this is its own thing. So when I think of that's like part of it that I thought was going to be a part of the topic,
Hey,
but
no, I agree.
But I understand how it wasn't because you're
yeah,
right.
this
is,
wasn't poaching. That being said,
Poaching is its own topic.
theoretically, there could be illegal trophy hunting.
There's
Absolutely.
plenty of
Which-
illegal trophy.
yeah,
hunting.
which-
Arguably, that's absolutely a part of trophy hunting. It's
Yeah.
part of the sphere. It's
And I do
definitely.
wonder if the story with Botswana and that kind of thing, I do wonder if that changed anybody's minds on this kind of thing, like a well-regulated system in which it
Sure.
feeds back into the conservation
I
of that
feel like
animal.
if you do that, it can be done clearly. I was reading something where they wanted to do a certification system where like you pay a fee and this and that. But then some people say, well, there's always going to be pros and cons of it. But
Absolutely.
I say if you can do it and it's done for the conservation of said animal, let me rephrase it. If the animal has enough of a population, I'm surprised they can do it while it's endangered. But again, they have a majority of the population there.
Yeah.
If you can say, all right, once we get to 200,000, like we need to stay at this number and gradually increase it or something like that. You know what I mean? Saying, but they're like, if we're over by X percent, you know what I'm saying?
Well, it's kind of like it's like the weather of culling the deer population. It's like, look, it's like, okay, they're
each
exceeding
season,
these numbers.
Yeah, each season is a different
All
number.
right,
Like especially
go.
with alligators,
Yeah.
you're given different amount of tags depending on the season. It depends on the population of the animal. I would say you can do something like that because we do that here in America all the time.
Yep.
It's a specific time where you're given. All right, you're given 50 tags.
Yep.
They have to be this type. They have to be this size. To be
Interesting.
this long, or you're given 50 tags in this time frame. Go.
Yep.
And that, like I said, obviously that money's going to go feed back into it, and not only then it helps the population, because also if you have too many of the same animal on spot, it's going to also hurt that population as well.
Exactly.
It's going to hurt, like I said, the other animal population that may be a predator or prey of it.
Yep.
So yeah, I think it can be done to where we can do it correctly.
Is this something that you think we'll see more of in the future, and maybe we're just not? Maybe this is. You know how like sometimes tech comes out too early, like the Dreamcast got online Ethernet port and all that kind of thing, and then it just fades off because it was too early.
Huh.
Do you think that trophy hunting as a system, as a conservation effort, as a well-regulated system, do you think it's just too early for that kind
No.
of concept?
No, it
No.
should already be in
We've
place.
been hunting
I
forever.
agree.
But the problem is you have too many people that want to stick their head in the sands and hear hunting bad. Period. Full stop and nothing else.
They kill animals.
Exactly. Rather than it's like, listen, we need space, they need space, we get that. And like we've discussed, almost a majority, I'd say a super majority of hunters understand that the conservation of animals is integral to not only the world, but to their
Hunting.
hobby.
Yeah, hunting.
Literally, they're great. They're great. I've seen, I watched these shows with my sister. Their great grandkids can't hunt if everyone goes and shoots a deer willy-nilly when they want to.
We've come a long way from shooting the
Yeah,
buffalo on the train. Just useless hunting.
Yeah.
Shooting the carrier pigeons with a shotgun. Just
Okay,
the cloud
that
of
might
them.
have been
Bah!
World War II. But no. So I think it should be enacted in these countries for animals that are maybe on the cusp or overpopulated. I mean, heck, even like I said, even if it's an overpopulation and they're nowhere near being extinct, like the deer, use that to get money to help other animals that are endangered.
Yeah.
Or to keep that maybe or to help rebuild certain habitats that are destroyed,
And I
especially
think
in these
that-
places like Texas, or especially California, because they don't know how to control their forests out there. Wildfires, if you do it the right way, you can help conserve the area. But I don't know. It depends on the biggest problem is, all right, putting aside America and Europe, because I don't really think there's really too big of an issue, because I don't know what you can hunt in Europe. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Do they have guns to be able to even do that?
probably not. No,
in Europe,
just the military.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Because
they.
they don't. Can they legally?
surely
have guns
there's hunting in Europe. That sounds crazy to me.
What's there, Nick? It's so populated there. It's been populated for.
I don't know what the animals
long.
are. Go look at some old scrolls from
But
the
you're saying
medieval
old
age,
horses still
and
over
they
there?
get those
They
weird
didn't
like
ha-
lions with clown faces. Yeah,
but that's
they were hunting.
Yeah,
It's
but
like,
that was back in the day. We're talking about modern. The biggest problem would become of the countries of Africa and Asia specifically on whether or not their governments want to. And this is one of the few times where, no, I'm not going to go that far. I feel like it would be up to them on whether or not they want to be proactive in protecting it, or they just don't care. I'm pretty sure the Chinese Communist Party could care less about the pandas. Or certain,
There's
like I
no
said,
way they care less about the pandas.
maybe they care more about the pandas than their own people. But back to what I was saying is certain African countries, and I can't name them. Clearly, Botswana is actively doing this. Another country that's run by some overthrown real no government type
Some
of thing.
regime change.
Yeah, they could probably care less. They just want money. So that's the thing is you got to deal with. There are countries that are just not going to care, and that's why other countries can step up and take lead. But I think it's going to mostly be because some of these super exotic animals live in Africa and Asia, specifically because just the different terrain that there is in, like you said, Europe has been colonized for thousands and thousands of years at this point.
Yep.
They have to, like I said, they have to implement these procedures to protect these animals. If they're endangered and you need to rebuild, obviously white rhinoceroses, don't hunt them. Can't hunt them. Period. End of story. Now, if we reach a point in the future where we got like millions of rhinoceroses, then rhinoceri, then it's a different story. But like I said, yeah, if you're getting to the point where you're overpopulating by, let's say 100%, like, and we need to pump the brakes a little bit, we need to pump the brakes. But I think governments should be doing this. I think it's a smart idea.
So,
it helps everything.
I agree, and
everything's better when we get the government involved.
No, it's not. I just feel like this should at least be a basic law.
Yeah, when it comes to the conservation of land and the animals, that kind of
the
thing,
government
you
has
want a
to
government effort in that. A coordinated
Now,
effort.
at very least, you want government money.
So one thing. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull it back. I think generally all of us kind of support trophy hunting a regulated and
I do. Yeah,
in a conservation
Business sense in me says, yeah, fantastic idea. Other sense in me says, you got to go in there, no scopes. You got to go in there within its range, and you have to fire off a warning shot first.
What?
You fire off a shot in the air, this thing knows you're there. Now you get to take your shot.
Okay, but
that's
now you
where
have
your
a
glory
master.
and honor comes in. You're gonna shoot it unsuspectingly, and this is just waltzing, trying to eat a leaf off a branch, and you're just like, bah!
Well, that's
like,
how
bro,
hunting is actually
Nick wants
done.
to cause a chaos.
Sounds like a coward to me. Trophy hunting. You got to earn your trophies.
Well, that's how you kill deer. It's like you spook them and they're gone.
There's too many deer.
Well, the part of the game is
too many elephants.
We know where the elephants though are. We know where they are. It's fine.
You gotta make it angry first.
He just wants the entirety of Botswana destroyed because, like, you have to shoot a round off and let every elephant start stampeding and destroying the land before you can try to shoot.
Look. I just want. It's like we're gonna call this trophy hunting. You gotta earn your trophy. You don't sneak up on it.
You can't sneak up on an elephant.
Well, what's the glory in taking out an elephant if you didn't challenge it properly?
He did. He challenged it with the gun. It's going to take more than one shot to take out an elephant.
Yeah, I got that. I get it.
Get the giant, like, big old elephant gun.
Nick just wants chaos to ensue.
I'll never forget the elephant gun from the movie Tremors.
I haven't seen it in a while.
I specifically think of Red Dead Redemption. They give you a sawed-off shotgun, and it's called an elephant gun.
Yeah, because
that's what you use.
Blast.
It's like this is how you get an elephant to back away.
But
so last part of my topic, okay? And this one gets a little bit like thinking a little, okay?
Okay. I like thinking. I like that.
We revived the woolly mammoth. Mm-hmm. We have 20 of them in captivity.
Okay, I see where you're going.
I don't know how much it's going to cost to make a woolly mammoth. Okay, once we start getting the ability to breed them and that kind of thing. Okay, we've got a population of, let's say the population's up to 100. Okay, and they're like, hey, $10 million, you can trophy hunt one.
I think you have one that's allowed to be trophy hunted for an astronomical amount, and if that guy's willing to pay a ridiculous amount of money. Mm-hmm.
You've got so many billionaires. You think, how much money would they be willing to do?
If you'd be I'd say like 50 to 100 million minimum. Like, listen, you give me $50 million, just to the first person will let you hunt one out of the 100 woolly mammoth. That 50 million will go a long way. But that's it. Then you got to wait for them to get to 200 or 150.
Can you imagine if it's the scientists like, yes, we're doing this promotion to help fund the research, to help bring back the woolly mammoth.
But it has to be, it'd be
so
first
controversial
person,
and interesting.
Yeah, but if it's like first person, 50 to 100, or it has to be an astronomical number, well above $1 million. And it can only be one. It's the first person, first come, first serve.
I'm not saying
Jeff Bezos would be there immediately.
Yeah. So I love the I love the idea when we had the mammoth episode. It made me think of that because I talked about using trophy hunting to kind of cycle the funding for it.
Yeah.
And it made me wonder. It's like, okay, like sure, yes, for a woolly mammoth and that kind of thing, we got a population of 100 or something. We're really trying to get it to take off, but we need money and funding. What about a tiger?
I like tigers. What are you talking about?
Like,
Shooting
okay,
them,
it's an
that's what he's
endangered
talking
animal.
about.
Okay, we have so many tigers and that kind of thing. Could,
No,
could a system like that?
No, not with tigers. They're too low.
You think so?
Again, it comes down. Woolly mammoths aren't natural.
No.
No,
If they're not natural, Nick.
no.
Um,
They are as natural as it gets. They
They're
come from
dead.
this earth.
That's like saying a
Um,
dinosaur is natural.
Yeah, they died by the nature
They
of
died-
human
yeah, they-
nature, humankind nature.
Yeah.
Okay.
Survival of the fittest.
Okay, we're
in terms of tigers, though, no. There's still too few of them to even try a promotion.
But
No,
is it possible that
No.
we
No.
do need to have another
We
podcast
have-
topic about the naturalness of allowing some of these things to die off? And it's like
I talked about
That's
this
the-
extensively
the woolly
in that
mammoth's
episode.
been dead for way longer than I think.
No. I talked about this. The arrogance we have thinking
play
what
God.
should and shouldn't exist, when they should and shouldn't exist.
Well, we're
to
the
think.
survival of the fittest, bro.
No, I
if
got
we're the
that.
ones who killed them off. I mean, that
No.
that is the question.
No, I
We
no,
didn't kill them off.
I mean, we killed off
Our species killed them
woolies,
off.
Our woolly mammoths.
We didn't.
we
How do
had
we
them
know?
here.
Prove it. When did the woolly mammoth? When was the last woolly mammoth alive?
We know they
How
were
many
around
knows?
like
10,000 years ago?
12,000 years ago.
Yeah, that's okay. We're in 2024
Yes.
AD.
They say based on or based on like the cave art, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
we have
they
cave
were
art.
hunted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those people had like goldfish brains. Like you said, deer
Maybe.
brains.
No,
are small.
no.
They
If you're painting on a wall, you
they
do not
saw
have a goldfish
meat.
brain.
They saw meat.
Yeah.
walk
We didn't think
They
conservation.
didn't
walk
know.
in McDonald's and they're like, oh my
They
god.
aren't at the level of I want to say sentience that we have currently.
They can make a spear and take down an animal taller than Chuck's, like from
Yeah.
this basement up to the top of the next
again,
story
they're just
floor. They
doing
killed
it
that
to
thing.
survive to the next day.
Yeah.
Bro, they're gonna survive a month on that.
That's the only thing they can think of. That's how crude. That's early human.
Well,
that's how crude they were.
Well, that's during an ice age too.
Yeah, you're
So,
doing it
like,
just to live.
Obviously,
yeah.
we're not saying,
And number one,
the
we don't
soldiers in
even
World War
know-
II started shooting out the mammoths. Obviously, it's like, but we're saying like our species killed them. We took them out.
No, we took out some.
Our
We can't
genetic ancestry
confirm-
took them out.
We can't confirm that we killed off. How do we know they just didn't die because they couldn't adapt to?
We have
post-Ice Age?
we have at least confirmed
Maybe?
drawings suggesting that we have at least killed one of them, which suggests we're
No.
responsible for at least
And
killing
we
them.
killed the deer, and there's 25, 30 million.
They're still
deers.
here.
Exactly.
So
They
we're
can
not
adapt.
concerned because they're still here.
They can adapt. The
And the
woolly
woolly
mammoth
mammoth
did
could.
not. Yeah, he did not adapt to the post Ice Age and died. on
Got
his
you
own.
warm.
Yeah.
Got too
Dinosaur.
warm.
We didn't kill the dinosaurs.
He had too much hair.
We might have.
No, we didn't.
I've seen the cave art. Can you imagine cave art? Some dude's fighting a raptor. We're like, this changes everything. It'd be amazing. Holy cow. Okay. Like,
That would change a lot, Nick. That would
it
change.
would change a lot. So
Yeah, it
it's
would.
fighting. It's like, look, it has the feathers and everything. It's like, it has a beak, but it's raptor-like. It's like,
it
oh,
doesn't-
what's going
They don't
on?
have feathers.
Caw.
I'm not gonna.
Bro,
fall
you
for
see those skeletons of like the
Fake news.
four-winged
Fake news feathers.
things in China? Oh my god!
I'm
Those
gonna
are
call
cool.
fake news on these feather. These feather
feather
scenarios.
dinosaurs.
I don't believe in that.
This feather business.
We did have a response.
Technically, chickens are
stop.
alive,
Sure.
Okay.
but I don't believe in no feathered raptors. Don't get. I'll believe
Don't you put-
Hollywood's version.
Don't you put feathers on my dinosaurs?
Yeah, exactly. You took away Pluto already. We ain't putting
Dinosaurs
feathers
are
on
tough.
dinosaurs. Enough. Enough is enough.
Jeez.
They were just giant chickens. No, don't give me that.
Yeah.
I eat that. I don't eat chicken, but like it's not the same thing. It's you go down the street to some Chick-fil-A or some Popeyes.
Yeah.
I've eaten gator before. You could say I've eaten a dinosaur.
I mean, those things are basically dinosaurs.
Yeah.
It was really good. Okay, so we did have.
He's trying to lecture us.
I know.
I
And
thought
this-
I was going to be
I
on the
know.
other side of the
He
fence,
was-
and then the other side is not being represented. I was like, okay, I got to stand up over here.
I feel like he's secretly always on these sides, but he pretends he's not on these sides just to.
No.
to-
Look, Mikey. In my
He doesn't wanna be ganged up
dystopian
on.
future of where I think
You
the
mean
world
Orwell's
maybe ought to.
1981?
Yes,
That's
yes.
where Nick lives.
I need to watch that.
I would want to
It's a
see.
book.
It's like I want to
Yeah,
see
I'm
us
not
bringing back the mammoths. I think we have. I would so
You have a
disingenuously.
barcode on your arm in your future.
Absolutely, I'd so disingenuously proclaim it's like we have a responsibility
Yeah,
to
you're one of
bring
the-
back the
He's-
mammoth. We took him out.
he's-
We need to bring him
he's one
back.
of them.
Our
It's the next
technology
moon
can do
landing.
it.
We got to
me.
do it.
We already did
And then,
it.
of course, it's like you sell the
51st
trophy
state.
hunting to fund it and everything. This is the dystopian future
I-
that it's like,
I'll show you
yeah,
later.
let's do it. Let's go there. But I ended up having to stand on the other side of the fence.
That is
today.
the other side of the fence.
What's
It's
the
a
response for the topic?
Okay, so
thing.
an extended answer for the poll. Okay, and the poll question was trophy hunting, and I don't mean the PSN, which is hilarious. We're talking rare and exotic animals. How do we feel about trophy
To
hunting?
be fair,
Does
we
this
also
belong
did, like
in the
I
modern
said,
age?
this took a quick swerve right at the gate for me and Nick.
Yeah, I'm baffled and confused.
Granted, my stance didn't change. It just
Did you guys enjoy it?
My stance was a lot I looked a lot better with the way the topic was than I would have if we're talking about illegal.
Can I pique your interest here? They opted to remain anonymous.
Oh,
of course. That's fine.
Okay, so they
Yeah,
said,
totally fine.
I think anything we do with live animals should be in service of the environment. Theoretically, I could see a situation in which an overpopulation problem could lead to an open season, but otherwise, I think in the interest of biodiversity, we can nix the more quote-unquote prized hunts.
I think it falls in line with what we're saying.
Yeah,
No,
I
for
agree.
sure. I
Except
like
for
your
Nick.
answer. I like how it supports the environment.
Future wannabe barcoded man.
I know. Obviously, we discussed the idea. It's like, okay, well, maybe some of those exotic things could be, you pay a big fee and
Bro,
it
this
goes
is all
towards the
hypothetical.
conservation.
Like,
Yeah.
that's only if we get a woolly mammoth and we actually get them up to 100. We're asking so many steps.
I know.
Steps to even get at that point, and then we can ask Jeff Bezos because he'll be the first in line.
Yeah,
he will be the first to line.
As
He'll be the first one to shoot a man.
eco-friendly as he wants to claim, he'll pay a exorbitant amount of money to shoot a woolly mammoth. This man who tore down a bridge to get his boat out in the freaking ocean.
Yeah,
I
that's
hate
pretty
it.
gross.
I
They had to
hate Jeff
disassemble a historic bridge
Did they disassemble it?
Yeah.
to get his.
I
his
hate this
boat
man.
was too
I didn't
tall.
know if they did or not, but I hate him. I've always hated him. I hate him more when I heard that story.
Yeah, they
He's
had to take apart
he's such
a
a he's
historic
such
bridge.
a hypocrite. Such a hypocrite.
I'm not going to say anything because no doubt with the direction our country's going, he's going to be one of the next presidents.
No, he's
so I'm not
No,
going to
he's
say
not.
anything. I pledge allegiance
He's
to
capitalism.
to the capitalism.
he's out on his boat out in the ocean.
Oh, man.
Wouldn't it be funny
Amazon
if he got
America.
like killed by like a whale or something?
If he got swallowed by a
ironic.
whale, that'd be amazing, and then all his funds would go to supporting all the fledgling billionaires. Oh my god. So yeah, is there anything more we want to say about trophy hunting? Any last comments?
That's what I wanted to get out. I honestly, I thought it was a really fun topic. It was just a different way to kind of look at that, because trophy hunting, with an immediate look
That's a
at,
bad stigma.
yeah, it definitely it sounds bad. And this Botswana story, I thought it was so funny because I was like, he ain't wrong.
It's-
Population's up. It's out of control. It's causing problems. It's like,
That's literally what we do with
Yeah.
deer here in Illinois, man.
I think Germany should call the bluff, and then I think Botswana should follow through.
yes, I love it.
I just release him.
We're living on the best timeline if that's true.
Yeah, it's like, here you go, and it's like just releases like
I
oh my
would
God.
donate to a Kickstarter to help the Botswanians
Yes.
send an elephant over to Germany.
Could you imagine if he just
Think about it. They did it in the past, though. They used to send giraffes and stuff to, like, kings of Europe.
Yeah, but
In
not
India.
20,000
that's
elephants.
fun and
No,
interesting, and they're
but
like,
I'm
look at
just
this
saying, like,
exotic creature.
we
You
can-
may now spirit,
No,
sir.
they keep them as pets. But if they can do it back then, they can get a boat through the Suez Canal and reach
yeah.
Germany. It's not
Yeah.
that hard.
Almost, except for the Evergreen boat.
Yeah, except for the idiots who can't
Evergrande,
drive.
yeah.
Yeah, Evergreen. There we go. Oh no.
Know
that
what?
was wild.
Noah's Ark did it.
Oh,
So they could ship a couple.
Got
they
'em.
just need 2. The gestation period, by the way, is 22 months.
Jeez, it's almost
Wow.
2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it pops out and it's walking around.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
That's what I'm saying is like they secretly smuggle the.
nature babies are different.
That's what they need to do. They need to secretly smuggle them into Germany,
Yeah.
and then breed them there, and then just be like, surprise, and just like, let them go, and then
It pops up in a warehouse.
It's
Look
like
what's going on.
No. It's like boiling the frog in the pot. It's like slowly elephants are just appearing, and no one's really paid attention. They're like,
Like, wait a
there's suddenly a lot of elephants here.
wait, did we lose an elephant out of the zoo? And they're like, no, they're all accounted for.
They're all accounted for.
And then they just start
Somebody's
ramping.
playing a
I think
cruel
at
trick.
very
There's
least-
one down on Maine.
I think at very least, Botswana should ceremoniously bring one elephant,
Yes,
Yes.
release
To,
it in an intersection.
Berlin. Just be like, They've attacked Berlin, man.
Has a giant like a tag on its neck and it says from Botswana with love.
Yeah,
An elephant never forgets.
that would make a great picture. It would make
It would be fantastic. It'd be hilarious.
It's in the middle of a German intersection.
Just an
They
intersection.
can name him like some German name.
How about they deliver
think
him
we'd-
in the beer fest?
That thing would
In the
be,
beer fest. Yeah,
Honestly,
Oktoberfest.
He would be a hit.
Just an
He would be a
elephant.
hit.
They'll
I was
get the
gonna say
little,
that thing would be beloved.
Can we get a beer made like costume on the elephant?
See, now we're going
I
too
think
far.
that thing would be like Harambe popular. You know what I mean?
Rest in peace.
That thing comes
Rest in
out, it
peace,
sticks its
Harambe.
trunk in like a trough of beer. Everyone would be like, ah, It's like,
He brings the kegger.
yeah, he
You know?
brings it.
Just carrying it.
The ceremony is just cracking of the keg. An elephant just
Bro, he
crushes
just,
it.
he just
Just
crushed.
slams it on the ground.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. And then the following year, when they want to up the ante, they bring in a hippo. And
I
it
think-
crushes the barrel.
I don't think Botswana has
think-
hippos.
I think Germany needs to adapt it and allow them to do the imports.
Embrace
of
it.
the
This is how you make
trophy
it
hunting,
strong. This is how you make yourself
And
strong.
then send the elephant. It would be like an actual gift at that point. You know what I mean? Be like, all right, we've settled our differences. Here's a present.
That'd be
and,
hilarious.
it's
Send
just
it
a
to, like,
beloved-
just-
Yeah,
just
put
a
it in
zoo.
the
Beloved
zoo.
German
This is-
citizen.
Yeah.
That'd be wonderful.
I'd
That'd be
love it.
wonderful. Comes. Oh my god. They should do an exchange. They exchange a keg of beer for an elephant. And they're like, we exchanged. It was a making do gift.
I
we
don't
exchanged.
feel like that'd be what Germany. What would I mean?
We
Besides
broke the liquid bread together.
world wars, what does Germany have as
Whoa,
exports?
whoa.
I don't know.
Do they even have alcohol? What is-
Wiener schnitzels. I don't know what
Yeah.
that is. I
besides-
think that's sausage. That's a wiener sausage. I think.
Wiener Schnitzel, I think it's sausage on a stick. I'm guessing. though.
I don't know.
What's the?
Let's not offend the Germans.
There's another one. What's the?
What are
name
they
of the
gonna do?
bell?
Start World War
You know,
Three?
they-
No,
the
Mikey,
instrument, the
Jesus!
bell?
They ignore that stuff.
They
no.
they lost the first two. They
Mikey,
want to
they
go for a
ignore
three-peat.
that. They ignore that. We talk about pretzels,
Glockenspiel.
They
beer,
want to go for a three-peat.
and other things. No,
A three-peat L.
no.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
Exactly. So don't start it.
I think they export fascism.
That's what I'm saying.
Moving on. Shall we move on to our
Clearly
next
not
topic,
anymore,
everyone?
Not
because-
anymore. Yeah, they have new things to
Communism
export.
now. That'll be.
Did they
more-
come out of Germany?
No, now it will.
Oh my God. Okay, moving on.
No, they
We're
didn't.
not talking world politics. We're not even talking local politics. We started the podcast with that.
You
So
did.
check that out. I did. That was intentional. I thought it was interesting. It's an interesting time
You
capsule.
started it on a topic where we were talking about hunting. That never occurred to you?
I mean,
I didn't even think it
For
did.
the record,
We were talking about
my
trophy
topic
hunting.
of trophy hunting was before
Yeah,
the
it's-
former
it's-
president was shot.
Don't say that. It was after.
It was an attempt.
It was after.
No,
you
it
don't want to
was-
suggest you
it
had
was-
something
Oh,
to do
yeah,
with
you're
this.
It was months ago.
Did you see that? There was a picture of some guy who like posted it. Like he pretended he was pretending. He
He pretended to
he
be the
posted a
assassin.
picture of him next
Oh.
to the picture of like the
No, it's a whole
attempted
video.
assassin thing.
It was a video.
Oh, it was a video?
Where he says, I'm so and so. I hate Republicans. You got the wrong guy or something. They did
Yeah.
find out it was fake. Yeah, this
Yeah,
just
like
a
he
troll.
did it as a joke, and then other news outlets actually picked it up, and they had his actual picture. He's like, "Oh no!" Like, it was
What did
as
he
a
think
joke.
was
They
gonna
put his
happen?
Picture, and then the news outlets started putting this other guy's picture as an alternative of the other guy.
Oh, they started
looked
including him on
almost
the
He
real
looked
story.
almost
It's like,
exactly
oh.
like
Yeah.
him. So, which is why it was like
And he
it
took
was
a
like
video
joke.
in his car saying who he using that name and said exactly. And he goes, you got the wrong guy or whatever. And then it's like, and so that I thought that was supposedly him, but apparently
Yeah,
it's,
the
I mean,
news-
they got the guy. No worries. They got the guy.
So, all right, what's the next topic?
that's just
Okay,
a stupid
moving on.
idea.
Yeah, it was a bad.
a really
idea.
bad
That's a
idea.
quick way
Yeah.
to. That's an immediate go to jail card. Do
Yeah,
not pass go.
Not
Do
something you
not
want
collect
to pretend to
$200.
take credit for.
Yeah,
Bad idea.
Somebody's gonna think they didn't get the right guy, and they're gonna go after him.
Yeah.
It's like you don't want to.
they're
It's
twins.
like, you don't want to do
They're
that.
twins. There's two of them.
Guys, we have our next topic. And here we go. The topic, a hypothetical. Actually, let's start with the survey. I want to start with the survey. Okay. This is all I wrote. I was vague about this intentionally. It says, that their steak was grown in a lab. Do you bite?
Do you want to do poll results before we get into it?
No. I want your. I want unbothered.
Absolutely.
Okay,
I
Mikey,
would dig right in.
dig right in. Okay, Mikey, that their steak was grown in a lab, do you bite?
Only for just to see, but no, I don't want the steak. We've had this discussion, Nick. I will bite it to see what it tastes like. It's like the Impossible
So you'll
Whopper.
test it.
Yeah, which is
Okay.
fake. But no, I don't want fake steak. I'm not a vegan. I'm not
No, it's a
tofu.
real
All right,
steak.
all right,
It's
all right.
not as it's
Here,
not
we'll
a real
get
steak.
into it. We'll get into it.
All right, all right.
Okay,
It's fake.
thank you. I wanted to know where everyone stood. I would also nom. I named the things. It just says noms or backs away
I would nom the blank out of
for
that thing.
noms.
And then you die.
57% of the vote said noms. They
Yes,
would
you
nom
could-
that their steak.
You'd have
Yeah.
you'd be too inquisitive not to.
43% backs away. They're like, no. No,
No,
don't want
man.
that. Don't
No.
want none of that. Okay, so here was the full extended topic. Okay, hypothetical. The growing meat industry has arrived, and that their steak was grown in a lab. We're talking the potential future of lab-grown meats. Would you bite?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Would you
say
consistently buy a lab grown meat? I think is what he's trying to say now. We get that you try it, but would it be something you would buy regularly for your family?
is this a product you would be interested in? The Walmart is like, there's new beef. Okay, there's new beef, and it's grown in a lab, and it's like, and I'm gonna say the features of the beef. Okay, here's what I'm gonna say. Okay,
Okay.
this is the specific terms of this discussion. Okay,
Okay.
the beef is indistinguishable from the beef we know and love today. You see it on the there's two racks. It's divided even. On one side, it's the real thing, and it's labeled the real
Wait,
thing.
can I answer the first question first?
Oh, sure.
And then we could go into
Yeah,
that one too.
okay.
Okay. So if they had lab ground meat, okay,
Yes.
I think ultimately it would come down to, it's like, okay, number one, does it taste good? Number two, is it similar to the real thing? Is it exactly like the real thing? Personally, like, number one, I would be very happy to try it. If I found that it was tasty, I would buy it entirely. I would only buy lab grown beef. To be honest, okay, when it comes to like a lot of people, okay, they become like vegetarians because they don't want to hurt like animals. Some people become vegans because they, you have still factory farms with chickens and eggs and that kind of thing.
Vegans don't have anything from the environment.
Exactly.
Technically, they shouldn't
Whoa,
even be
slow down.
breathing air.
No
Nothing from
animal products.
Yeah, so cheese, milk.
They're
can
eating
still
plenty
be-
of things from the
They're
environment.
eating the animals' products.
No,
That's
vegans
a vegetarian.
avoid.
No, they're eating the animals' food supply.
Yes, yes, that's true.
Okay, yeah.
They're just being thieves.
Yeah,
They're
they really are.
grazers.
Well, they're just being another animal, is what I think. It's almost like a degrading factor. You know, it's like they're trying to
become
like
dumber.
They've
submit
become an
themselves to just
herbivore very, very specifically.
Okay.
It's an herbivore.
Okay, so
Unless they're
personally,
human.
for me, like, okay, I don't like the idea of factory farms. In fact, for the most part, I try not to think about them because it's like reality
Yeah.
check. It's like we're not going to escape.
What is
them.
it? Food Inc. I don't want anything to do with that. I don't want to see it. I don't want to know what's in the hot dog. I don't care. It tastes good. I don't want to know. Ignorance is
Exactly.
bliss. I've been doing great all this time, all these years.
Exactly.
And I'm still alive. It's clearly, I mean, arguably, not
Guys.
a poison.
Guys, we could be eating like, I don't know, pig bunhole. Okay, in these hot dogs. Okay?
probably the best
part. And you know what? And maybe you don't want to know that, and so there's a lot of things when it
Let
comes
me
to
some pig cheeks.
You actually can eat pig.
Absolutely,
Oh,
pork roast.
Jows? Are you talking? What are you talking about?
We're joking about eating like a gross part of the pig that you don't know that's
But
clearly
you
put in
eat
the
the
hot dog.
cheeks of a
You
pig.
talk about
Guys,
butt
don't you
cheeks or
don't you
cheeks?
like
Yeah.
don't you like
Which
pig nose
cheeks?
cartilage? That's my favorite.
Yeah, really. So my point is I don't like the idea of a factory farm. Obviously, like if you've ever seen a factory farm, it's like it's the most depressing thing you've ever seen in your life. You don't really want to look because if you do, it'll make you want to be a vegetarian or something. And I don't want to give up meat. Okay, and that's why I'm really excited about lab-grown beef and lab-grown meat and that kind of thing, because it's like, look, if we can grow animal muscle, okay, sans the animal, okay, yes, by the power of science, let's do it. We can stop torturing animals, okay, which is already hard enough. You really don't want to know that. Perpetually, the perpetual pregnant cows, okay.
Yeah.
As soon as the baby is born, they take the baby away. And then they make sure the cow is pregnant again so that they can continue to get milk. You know, that's how a milk farm works. So, like, it's like I don't want to know these things, and I don't even want to do a topic on factory farms, to be honest, because it's going to make me a vegetarian. But as a lab-grown kind of thing, it's like, look, I don't want to give up bacon. I don't want to give up burgers. It's like, could we survive on beans, nuts, cheeses, and, you know, vegetables? It's difficult. You're Mr. Vitamin Man, you know, or whatever. You got to take a bunch of vitamins to kind of make up for that kind of thing, or maybe you don't if you
And
keep
then
the
you
cheese
have
and
an
the
iron
eggs.
deficiency and you die.
Sure. I personally don't want to give up meat. If I could enjoy lab grown meat, if it is as good as the real thing, I would be all over it in a heartbeat. If it's slightly worse, I'd probably consider it. You know, I'd have to, you know, see what I could do with it. But I'm absolutely in support of it. In fact, if there's a company, okay, and I think there actually is, but it's not doing well. If there's a successful company to do lab grown meat, okay, the second this stuff comes out, okay, and it's on mass production, that kind of thing.
Mass production.
I'm investing the
very
blank
important.
into that company. Okay, we have a food issue in the on the planet.
Yeah.
Okay, and like this is the future of it. You know, so I'm super excited about it as an investing opportunity. I said the same thing about AI. You know, it's like, man, the first company that I can invest in, you know, for this, I'm hopping on it.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize Nvidia was obviously one of those, and
Oh,
it was
man.
$100 a share. And
How many people missed that boat? Jeez,
I was so mad, I just didn't have money at the minute.
Yeah.
I should've
Nvidia
took a
is
loan.
clearly like the one. It's like even in like the gamer sphere, it's like, of course, in Nvidia,
Of course.
of course.
So, I'm absolutely for factory lab grown meat. Absolutely, I would be all over it. I would personally fund it. I would be. I'm ready. I believe certain places you can actually buy it right now. It's just really expensive. So honestly, personally, I think we need to do a comeback episode. Okay, where we go to the store, we buy some lab grown beef, we make ourselves some burgers, we all eat it, and then we come back and share our experience with the.
Wouldn't that
lab-grown
be
meat.
wonderful? Wouldn't that be wonderful?
If we don't die.
I think I want to. Today after this, I haven't eaten breakfast. Maybe I'll stop and I'll get a burger.
Yeah.
Just think about that.
Yeah.
Just think about that. Mikey, how about you?
No.
No.
We'll see where it goes, but I ain't gonna trust them to grow the meat correctly. Like it's not possible. It's possible, but I don't trust them. They couldn't even hold in certain things. They let things out all the time. I can't say
Thank you
'cause
for
I
that
don't know if we're gonna get
restraint.
demonetized.
Please don't.
demonetized
Yeah, please don't.
because
Thank
people
you.
don't like the truth, or what could be the truth. I don't know. I don't trust. It's not. It's the Impossible Burger.
It ain't natural.
It's not natural. I'm not for the factory farms, but farms are an important part of this country.
We
as
have a
well
big
as,
population. We need to eat. It's a fact.
and
you know?
it's you're taking away jobs. Number one, you're taking away lots of farming jobs and people's livelihoods that have been doing this for generations, which is integral, especially here in the Midwest, farming. And like I said, you're taking away, and then it's just growing something in a lab, and you got to trust the laboratory not to mess it up. Yes, you still get salmonella nowadays. Now you're saying like one outbreak would affect the whole product line. It's like I said, it goes against nature thing, which people can say, oh well, so does farming. Technically, not. Farming is evolved.
Factory
nature.
farming is terrifying.
I understand that, and I'm agreeing with you on that. I still don't want them growing random pieces of meat. Some dude in a biohazard suit growing a lab meat. Like that's just a recipe for disaster. It's 100% the next
Thing.
like epidemic, like 100-year epidemic is going to come from lab grown meat. Predicting it now is someone's going to go boop. Division. That's how everyone dies is because of the lab grown meat. They put a little drop in.
Is that real?
No.
I mean,
that's
They put it on the dollar.
Yeah, it's the
Oh,
dollar.
yeah,
flu,
you're
as
right.
it's
You're
known.
right. You're right. The Black
But-
Friday thing.
Yeah, but I feel like one psychopath gets into the lab grown meat and doop. Whereas whereas other meat you'd be like, yo, we messed up this batch, don't eat it. Some crap got into these products.
Literally.
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, slow down here. With the real thing, that literally happens.
It does.
But
It's like, yikes.
you just get rid of that grouping of product. The lab grown meats, you're kind of like, oh,
Why can't they get rid of that grouping of products?
because if they have the basic is bad, everything's bad. If the
they
I don't
can
know,
separate. They can do things different. They can.
I
they can
just
have
don't
separate
trust
instances.
them enough to do it correctly.
Trust can be an important factor here. clearly.
Absolutely.
Especially because this is an untested market entirely, an untested experiment for the most part. It's
Yeah, they're just going random, really willy nilly, just throwing stuff together and hoping that it sticks. That's exactly one of the reasons, like, I don't trust like medications at first, because it's like you don't know what the side effects are or what they're doing for it. It's like, I get it. You're saying that it's. I guess I still can't wrap my head around it. Like, you just threw a slab. Like, how'd you get it? Because you're saying it's farming. You still needed the animal.
So yeah, so basically what they do is they would take muscle tissue from a actual living specimen. So the way I've always looked at it is, I don't know how.
Look
how
at all the
much
people
of
that hated
cow
stem
survives.
cells.
Yeah, and I think that's a complete mistake.
Yeah, that's an entire mistake.
And what that's done. And these people, they're still going to be vegetarians and vegans. They're still going to say it's natural, unnatural, and like blame the animal.
It's
and blame,
unholy.
no,
Unholy meat alliance.
yeah, like said, they just be complaining about something else instead of the animal mistreatment, but you still technically need the animal. Then you're just making everything else extinct.
Maybe
Killing
they eventually
cows.
want to take down houses so you can give the land back to the animals. That's the next frontier.
I don't trust anything a vegan
That's
or a
such a
vegetarian has
joke,
to
Chuck.
say.
I know it is. Go ahead.
I don't trust a dude in a biohazard suit growing anything that I want to eat.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
At least yes, I know I can risk getting sick eating normal food. That's just how life is. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's how nature's been going on for hundreds of thousands of years from the
It's worked so far.
Yeah.
So, question for you, okay? If I'm curious because I think you said you would, but
Yeah, try
just
it.
confirming. If I buy some lab-grown beef and make us some burgers, would you guys eat them?
I eat it last.
I'd eat
You
the
never
heck
the
out
first
of it.
one to drink the Kool-Aid.
Okay.
I'd eat the heck out of it. I have to know.
Yes.
I have to know. This is, as I discussed, my constant, perpetual need to see the future, to see where it's going and everything. I would need to know. Okay.
I'm curious. I want to taste this meat. I want to taste that meat. Get that meat in my mouth. I want to taste the meat. Okay. And if it's good, I'm gonna invest into.
The other part
I'm
is
gonna invest
you're
in some
stuck
lab.
with only one part of the meat. You have to grow because there's different meat is different things.
No, but that's
Yes,
the thing. It's like
you're right.
Why not just take those cells from that animal and grow those?
So and that's
No,
basically
but I'm
what
saying
they,
is different steaks are from different parts of the animal. You'd have to take a whole heck of a lot of things.
Yeah, and I am curious about what maybe they can really only grow one type
Exactly.
of beef from
You
that.
just
Maybe
get-
the particular muscle. Can we grow a rump, a
Or-
butt muscle?
yeah,
or
you
rump
can't get a
muscle or
T-bone.
whatever.
A butt
Yeah.
muscle.
T-bone.
We're gonna go with that.
T-bones aren't real anymore because there's no bone.
Yeah, boneless beef.
Boneless beef. I love boneless wings. Those are my favorite. They're not even wings.
Yeah, literally.
not even wings.
So, yeah, I don't know. I would totally do this. Now, I stand very similarly. Did we get to ask you?
No.
Let's ask
We
you.
know he brought up the topic. He already said he'd munch down on the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I haven't given it any
Go
extensive
ahead.
thoughts at all.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll get into my stuff after.
Look, okay, if this becomes available, obviously I'm going to eat the heck out of it. Like Chuck says, I'm going to invest the heck out of it because that seems like an actual future thing, unlike crypto.
That is.
It's like, look, I know people tried and got excited. NFTs,
NFTs
No one
more
was that
particular.
excited. about NFTs.
AI currently. We're going to see how long that sticks around. I saw an article recently, a Doubter
Our
article.
future Skynet.
A
and-
doubter article.
A Doubter article where they said AI is reaching the limits of how smart it can get.
We're
No,
talking
that's
about.
Can't
actually
push
true.
past
We're
it.
talking about
That's
lab
true.
grown
They
meat.
need more data.
I'm
They're
not
running out
saying
of
it's
data.
wrong. I was just saying it's like, okay, they're not the
Skynet
AI
takes
pushers.
over the lab grown meat.
I
That's
do
the
it.
future.
So-
What? Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Then you're dead. The Terminator's got you.
He always wants to see the end of the world. You can't listen to him.
I didn't. No.
Yeah,
No.
he's literally
Everyone thinks it's gonna be the end of the world. It's like, look, guys, it's like it makes great movies. It doesn't make good real life.
prove it.
We did
They've
World War
already
II.
said
It was
they
terrible.
Yeah, they
I'm
already
kidding.
said that they would kill us.
Mikey, that's just a dumb random AI is like this is appropriate to say.
See, Skynet takes over the lab grown meat,
And then
humans are dead.
it tries to initiate, and it's like, oh, my protocols say we can't do this, and you should be nice to people, and
It's-
you
then
should,
World
you
War
should be
III
culturally
happens.
appropriate.
Focus on
And
the lab grown meat.
okay, lab grown meat. Okay. I looked into this a little bit. I'm like, okay, where's the beef?
Nice.
Not there.
Like where is it currently? Okay, and I heard the first lab grown burger. It was about like a $300,000 burger patty, and it was technically
That's
just
it?
20 like thousand layers of like muscle tissue just stacked together, which is like, okay, this is lame.
Yeah.
Okay. And
like,
the
no,
thing
we gotta
is,
grow
it's like,
muscle.
it's like, okay, so the cost of doing this, okay, that's the most important thing. It's like nuclear fusion, okay? Are you getting more energy than you put into it? You know, you're getting more out than you put in, and how much does it cost?
We can't even do that.
Exactly. So we're working on it. We're working on bringing down the cost. So the thing is like right now, it's like, I think the cheapest we've gotten is about like $40 a burger, which is not good. Okay, not good at all.
Yeah, that's expensive.
Way too expensive. This was recently done in 2 restaurants. One was like, I think in New York, the other was in California,
That's
to
not
test it, to
surprising.
promote basically the research of growing meat. And they were allowing you to buy these burgers and everything. Apparently it was sold at a big loss, allegedly. I don't remember all the details and I don't care. I just know that it's not
Well, yeah,
necessarily
there's-
viable yet. Okay, they're currently working on it. The big problem here, okay, with lab-grown meat, Mike was onto something, is that essentially trying to keep these lab-grown meat environments, cultures, literally, sterile is really, really difficult. Okay, you have to constantly go in there and basically feed this thing to keep it growing. And every time you go in, there's a risk of contamination. And if you contaminate it, the whole thing's bad. And it's very expensive at the moment. The thing is that lab-grown meat does not have an immune system. It does not have a natural immune system like a cow does, you know. Cow gets sick, whatever. It fights through it, you know. It's fine on the other side because it has an immune system to basically take
you have
care
a
of that
stronger
and
burger.
keep it alive. You have a stronger burger. Stronger beef. Okay.
This is
so-
weak beef.
And here's the thing: it's like, okay, so there is a thought. It's like, I do see comments. It's like, I mean, to be fair, thinking about cows and stuff, and modern farming, it's like all the pesticides and stuff. It's like people are wearing, you know, lab equipment basically out in the fields while they're trying to dust their fields with pesticides. It's like the stuff
No,
causes
they're in
cancer.
airplanes.
Sure, but it's like, okay, the guy in a house nearby is not in an airplane. You know,
Yeah, he is. He's the one flying the airplane.
No. Like my family apparently they lived on this old farmhouse because the farm made enough money to build a new house,
Yeah.
and they rented it to my parents. My older brother got cancer in that house, and right in their backyard, a giant field, constantly
They
just
prove
growing
it?
crops and stuff. I have no idea.
Exactly.
And frankly, I don't care. But the factor is, it's like, look, you're putting pesticides all over the stuff. It is known to cause cancer. The backyard is literally a cornfield.
You can get cancer
Almost
from
safe
everything,
to say, who
depending
knows?
on who you ask.
But the thing is, and that's not even a specific important anecdote or anything like that. My point is like factory farming, its own thing, goes through all sorts of nasty
I get
garbage.
that, and I've said that, but at the same
And
time,
it's gross and awful. And it's like, yes, and here's the thing. We know that there are ranches that open fields and you know, grow and allow their cows to go out there, ethically humane. They grow there, and they produce some of the best beef in the world, and all this other stuff. And people pay really good money for some really good quality beef. I was thinking about this entire topic, and I realized it's like, I hear the concern, like, oh, here's one. Florida preemptively already banned this stuff. This stuff is basically like, it's barely marketable. It was sold at a massive loss to promote the research for this stuff, and then Mr. DeSantis down there is like, we're not feeding our kids this
you
slop.
do know that the Democratic senator from Pennsylvania also said he made the right choice in banning it. By the way, I
Sure,
want you to
but-
point
and
that out.
I
before you
wonder why.
Yeah, I don't. They think it's unnatural. They think it's taking away
Oh,
from the
please.
cattle ranchers. They
It
think
is
it's going to be
taking
taking
away
away
from
their
Cattle
jobs.
ranchers, have they seen the cattle? The cattle?
So look. I think. I easily think anyone who is cattle ranching is going to be perfectly fine because now they're going to, as
No.
the cattle ranching opportunity of producing the general beef that goes around
you're gonna
reduces, their need for like high quality beef. It's like your prices are going to go up, bro, because you're
No, but
doing
they're not
the
selling as
old
much.
fashioned way.
But they're not selling as much
Yeah,
as they
I
would
don't think so,
before.
yeah.
And on top of that,
Look, You're gonna you're
No,
gonna lose
it's
the
not.
McDonald's. The McDonald's
You're not understanding.
marketing.
You're
That's
losing.
not how it works.
You're losing the population. If 70% of the population is using your food right now, and then you lose like another 50% of that to the lab grown meat,
Yeah.
it's not like, oh well, just because my meat costs more means I'm gonna make more. No, they're not eating as much.
Sure. Okay.
Plus,
so,
on top of that, each of the cows have high quality beef in them and lower quality beef, depending on where it's
Yeah.
taken from the cow.
sure. Okay. Fair enough. Look. Okay. So
And my other thing is this: how are these people that like to claim they're all for the environment, right? And I'm not talking about factory farming. Number one, I get that's where it comes from, but it's out of sight, out of mind. You can't think about it because you go crazy.
Yeah.
But the infrastructure you would be required to make a lab grown meat would not fit with the environmental agenda that some
no, but
places
the thing
like
is,
to
you're
do.
not mass killing animals, and there's not mass animal suffering, which is what like the
But
PETA
you
people
can't
care
run
about.
it on solar powers and all that. So you want no animal suffering, but we also want wind turbines, but we want lab grown
No.
meat. How are you going to
do gas for now. Do gas for now. No animal suffering.
No,
You're not getting rid of gas. Nobody's getting rid of
that's
gas.
what they think they are.
Well, they won't be able to use
I don't
the
care what
methane
people think.
produced
No
from the
one's doing
cows.
it. The thing is, there's an entire country out in the Middle East. I'm gonna leave unnamed that its entire fortune is just oil. Okay, you're not getting rid of gas. It's not going anywhere. It's in the dirt.
Tell that
we're
to
running.
California
We're
and New
running.
York. You can't have a gas stove.
Who made the comment recently? Mikey, you made the comment.
terrible idea.
You made the
Probably.
comment. The plastic dinosaur. It's a real dinosaur.
Yeah,
It's like, look, that there is a real dinosaur.
it's cool.
I love it. Look here.
I'm just saying, the infrastructure to make lab grown meat, you would then require more land for these
No.
for these labs.
I don't know about
Where are we
that.
building labs at, guys? Where are we putting them?
Look. If you're growing this thing and this thing doesn't need to roam and be in a pen,
Where are you putting?
you go up. You can go vertical now.
They don't roam.
Exactly.
They're in pens.
But
No,
back
I
to
know,
what I'm
but
saying,
that's the thing.
no,
It's like you need space to hold a whole cow.
yeah.
You can now go vertical. I don't think cows are being bred in skyscrapers, are they?
No, I don't think
no,
so.
but they don't go vertical. You need your mass. You just said you're mass producing it. Where are you getting this? You're taking. You got buying up land that.
You go.
it should take up a lot less
now,
land than
slow
our
down, slow
entire
down.
ranch.
Look. Even if it's the same amount of space, okay, they'll just produce the same thing, except there's no animal suffering, and it doesn't take. Well, maybe I don't know how long it takes to do this. Look, I don't know. People are afraid of change and like eliminating the cattle rancher's job. It's like, look, we used to have, I don't know, chimney sweeps.
Technically, there are still chimneys.
We used to have people in call center operators. Okay,
Elevators.
and we don't need that. We don't need elevators.
And all
we
of
don't
them
need
lost their
cashiers and
jobs.
stuff. Who cares? New jobs will rise and prevail and stuff, but it's like, are we really gonna not advance because someone needs a job? Is that what we're really gonna do? Can we not advance to a place to where people don't need to work as much?
Well, we can't even.
That's a huge jump.
No, I get it's a controversy, but it's like,
We need
look,
a certain jump to
look,
achieve that.
we put gas in cars. The horse market's out of business. I'm sorry, but we moved on.
yeah, this
People making wooden
The, carriage
sailboats,
maker
you're going to
lost
have
his
to
job.
move on. You're going to have to figure out how to do metal boats. You're going to have to do something else. And it's like, look,
So you're like Obama telling the miners how to.
yeah,
telling them to
learn
how
to
to
program,
code,
learn to
the
code. Yeah, it's a horrifying thing, but it's like, look, it's like we can't possibly stall humankind because we're afraid of someone losing their job. That's crazy.
That's just one
That's
aspect.
insane to me. It's like the cattle ranchers are going to lose their
I
jobs.
don't
It's like,
think
look,
that's not the only reason why. There's so many more reasons
no,
why.
Why is Mr. DeSantis in Florida trying to pre-ban lab-grown meats?
Because they don't.
Wait,
you
wait,
can't.
wait,
That's
wait, wait.
one state.
I fully assume that is a
and it was
politically
supported
charged
by
decision.
both.
That's what I'm saying.
But it was also a bipartisan thing.
I understand, but
you have senators on the other aisle from a different state saying he did the right thing.
I got that, and I disagree with him vehemently.
That's fine. You can disagree with him, but don't start be political about
It's
it.
not a left or a
I'm
right
not being
issue.
political about it at all. I'm saying is that why aren't we doing this?
You just said we don't have the infrastructure
Because
to do it.
it's the same. Number one,
It's ridiculously expensive.
I know, but I understand. Okay, the advancement of this stuff is gonna need some money and research and support.
Okay,
and if
the-
we're pre-banning it because we don't want the cattle ranchers to lose their
One
jobs,
state pre-banned it.
I know, but they're the only ones talking, so that's the only
But-
thing we have to go on.
Well, wait.
Then you have
Here's the
49
thing,
other
okay?
states and
Here's the thing.
like 200 and some countries that can do this.
It's not.
I hope-
it's not a left and a right issue. Okay?
I'm not saying
This
it's a
is
left or a right issue.
It's a money issue. Okay. Number one, it's not ready. That's a fact.
I agree with that.
I think obviously I do believe that more funding needs to get put into it, but again, we are a capitalist society, so like
Yeah.
unless it's going to make money, there's no point. Unless we're going to solve world hunger. with
Chuck.
it,
What
then
did you
the
say when
UN needs to
you
work
try
on it, you know?
try this burger that it becomes viable?
Yes.
You try this burger. What's the first thing you're gonna do?
invest in it
Why?
because
You have
I
to-
know that it's going to get big. If you can,
There you
if
go.
you can produce more.
There you go. What do
meat,
you mean?
Okay, you number one, if you're not doing an entire animal,
This
okay,
sounds like a
you can
capitalist
produce-
endeavor to me.
Absolutely, it is. You could produce more meat and that kind of thing. Okay, you could feed more population with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when it comes to being in a factory and that kind of thing. So, for example, okay,
Yeah.
this is a similar thing that I said. So, for example, I fully support and to a certain way. I know people will hear this and they'll think like, what? No, to a certain degree, GMO fruits. Okay,
Yeah.
If you've ever seen like you buy an orange and it looks like this, it's
Yeah.
like, what in the world?
That thing's
Now,
amazing.
It is. It's like, okay, there's more orange there, okay?
Yeah.
With lab-grown beef and that kind of thing, it's like we can grow a muscle that's abnormally large. If you've ever seen a factory farm cow, okay, that's grown for meat, okay? Like, I'm not saying they're all like this, but I have seen pictures.
You can get them pretty freaking huge.
It's a really, it's this the most steroid-looking cow
Yeah.
you've ever seen
Yeah,
in your
yeah,
life.
they're ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. Okay, now you can do that without the animal. Okay, and when you can kind of grow more meat than might be more natural or something possible on a natural animal, okay,
Mm-hmm.
you can grow a fruit that's like abnormally large. It's like we're producing more fruit, we're producing more meat using science and that kind of thing.
Yep.
And
That feeds more.
if you could feed more population and that kind of thing, that's great for world hunger issues. That's
Yeah.
good for reducing the methane expenditure.
Yeah.
You know,
Why are you bullying the cows?
Well,
you know, the methane release from these living animals and that kind of thing.
Apparently, it's a
Um,
big enough issue that
it's
we have to
not.
bring it up. It was
It's
like
not.
it's the cows doing it.
It's the cows.
This type of creature is specifically causing
Now,
global
I'm not
warming.
mentioning
Ignore
the
us
methane
and our
thing is a
jets.
joke that I'm saying, but my whole point is that we can use science to produce more food.
Yeah.
Okay, and really, when it comes to a living animal, there's only so much we can do. We borderline have to torture these things, and again, out of sight,
It's
out of
not
mind.
borderline.
You're right. It's not borderline. Out of sight, out of mind. And, that's fine for most people. Out of sight, out of mind. And I
that's what I was looking for earlier. And Nick, I told you earlier when we first talked about this.
What?
I always disagree with the government banning anything to begin with.
Yeah.
Number one, I'm not in Florida. I don't know what the law is. I don't really care.
I don't even know what
And
the
I do
ban
it-
was or why
It
they
was
banned
lab grown meat. All I know is it's something about in schools. That's what the titles were. I
Said
didn't
you're
look
not
into it.
feeding our children this slop.
Yeah, it's
this
protect the
lab-grown
children.
slop.
It's-
So
you know.
I already told you, like, I understand that, but the problem is we're at the point where we're not even ready to do this.
yeah.
I'm not
That is
so
a very
concerned about
fascinating
Florida.
ban that's
I'm
not ready for
I'm not so
public
concerned
use.
about Florida specifically. To be clear,
Yeah, you don't really want to use okay. Let's look at the law as it's kind of a little bit of a joke.
Right now, there's
here.
no law against it,
Yeah,
technically.
yeah.
There's no
Let's-
federal
let's
law.
Look
there's
at
no-
let's look at the ban. Okay, and it's like
putting that
okay,
aside.
you don't want to use children to test the lab-grown meat. That sounds bad.
Sure.
We probably don't have to make a ban on it because it's not happening. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it looks good. Protect the children. Right?
Yeah.
So
It's
all that
optics.
aside,
we get that point. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
But you're
sure.
also
it's not even ready for that.
Yeah, we're not even. You can't even sell it at all. You just said it. They sold it at a loss,
Yeah.
so the company could be bankrupt.
yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I was just talking to the aspects of like some people's arguments why we shouldn't do it.
There's always gonna be arguments why we shouldn't do it, and I'm just giving you facts of why we shouldn't do it. In my opinion, doesn't mean
Sure.
they're necessarily right or wrong, but that's gonna be the opinion
Of course,
going
of
forward.
course, and I'm just giving my opinion. That's all I'm doing.
You went off on a major tangent there,
Nah, I'm
but
I'm disappointed at the stuff that may hold this back. I guess.
So when it comes to a lot of this stuff, I'm fully ready to move forward into the future, kind of like what you're kind of trying to say. I I don't think it's going to
But
get
you're
a ban.
just, the difference is you were one person who, and this is just making this statement. So you're okay jumping feet first without looking in.
No, that's
Yeah,
not at
no,
all.
you,
Not at all.
I,
I
know
mean, we got to know it's safe to eat.
I believe it has been approved FDA.
Look, I'm not. No,
It's
no, no,
FDA
hold on,
approved.
hold on.
It's up to FDA.
Look. We have to test these things. I don't even know if lab-grown meat's going to taste good. If it doesn't taste good and it's a bad product, it's no good.
Exactly.
That's simple,
true.
you know. And that's its
Could be
own argument.
great
It's like,
beef.
yeah. If it's
Great.
not good, then it's like it's a bad product. Then it's like, well, dang.
Then it dies on its own.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
fine. It's like, well, it's not viable. Clearly.
But you can't get mad at people for not wanting to try because it seems unnatural.
I'm fine with
Absolutely,
people not wanting to
absolutely.
try because it seems unnatural.
My guess is a lot of people who are hungry aren't going
The
to care.
difference you're also saying is again, people invest in things they think will be a success.
Mm-hmm.
So if they don't, and that's what I'm saying is you can get mad at them for not investing, but that's their money.
No,
Absolutely.
people are free to do that. What I'm saying,
I'm getting into the ground floor, man.
that
If I have the
exactly.
opportunity, I said it with AI.
I don't want people to be afraid of change. We have been changing forever. We have always been changing, and there are so many jobs and things that have existed in the past that do not exist now.
Yeah, but you can be hesitant to change.
That's fine. That's totally fine. But the thing is, like, look, this might cost some jobs if we start going this way. It's like, that doesn't mean we shouldn't go that way, is my point. And I'm not speaking to you saying,
No,
we're
okay.
not going that way. I'm saying, it's like,
But
just
again,
to be vaguely political, it's like, look, if we have the parties up there and they're like, we shouldn't do this because it's doing this, and then it's like, and they're the ones guiding the ship, and it's like, we're not going to go, it's like nuclear. It's like, you want to save the environment? You psychopaths?
go nuclear.
What are we doing? Look at the power disparity between what's produced from just gas and coal and anything else, and then you look at nuclear, you're like, is this a joke? It's like, what's going on?
I hate it every time I see it. I got to do a topic on nuclear because I'm massively.
Did you know our state
pro-nuclear.
is supposed to be one of the we have like the most robust possible nuclear state in the nation.
Yeah. I believe it.
I believe we probably don't use it. But back to the topic of lab grown meat. Yeah. The thing is I get it, but the problem is the issue is again is it's too early to tell.
Yeah.
Very true.
And you can understand why. I can easily understand why some people say, because it's you've seen the crap before where it's like the Impossible Whopper and the.
See, but no one's claiming that's real beef.
No,
they
I'm not
put
saying
it
that
right
they're
in the
claiming it
tagline.
real beef, but they're trying to imitate meat, so they've already seen it done and compared to like. There's a stupid one that says like the meat, no meat burger. It's some weird wording, and I'm just saying that some people see that.
Everyone
as like,
knows vegan food, vegan alternatives are terrible.
They are.
that's what I'm saying.
And that's the thing, is there's a big difference between lab-grown meat, capital M, it's literally meat, and a vegetable patty that
Veggie burger.
tries to look like a beef patty.
at the
Like,
same
you
time-
can't tell the difference. We'll challenge you. It's like, good luck.
You could argue like then you get into the semantics about meat then, and then or is it real meat? Is it lab grown meat? Like you know what I'm saying?
Is it animal cells? Is it
I-
animal
that's what I'm
cells or
saying.
not? This is an animal cell burger.
But can
But it was grown in a lab, and everyone's like, okay, it might taste like beef. It should taste like beef in theory, maybe. We'll try it.
That's the whole
hopefully.
idea, is that they're growing an animal muscle.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it is the animal muscle.
Yeah, it's literally growing meat.
Yeah.
So
I'm
You
so
just
for
don't
it.
know where it's gonna go.
and you're totally right about that.
I hope it goes to my McDonald's burger.
No,
We've tried this, okay, and they sold some. It cost a lot. It was a lot of loss. But the thing is, they were trying to promote the research and everything like that.
Do you even know if it went over well?
I know it's
don't know.
discontinued, but I don't know if that was simply because it was too expensive.
I assume so.
It was a temporary thing. I think the one in New York discontinued, and the one in California might still be available. I don't remember.
I wouldn't be surprised because people are there can
But
throw around 300. What did you say it was like? Or they sold it cheaper than that.
they sold it cheaper. Basically, they could get it down to like $40 a burger.
The problem
But that's
is
a lot.
I also see again the issue would be is there's different types of meat on the animal.
Sure. Why not grow a rump, like Chuck said?
I get that.
Grow the nice part.
True, but certain people like this part, certain people like that part, certain people like the other part, right?
Yeah.
So from one pig,
Yeah.
you can get different types of meat. You can get, let's say, 7. I don't know.
Different
I
chops.
have to think
Yeah.
about it. I've never looked at a pig and see what meat you can get. to equate that to the lab grown meat, you would have to grow 7 different types of
And
meat.
here, don't even worry about
Yeah.
that, because that's the thing. Is like in the meantime, while they can't grow a chop yet, go buy a chop. In the meantime, it's not like the other stuff's going away. So it's like if all they could do is pig butts,
Yep.
okay, but they can't do pig shoulder, or ribs, or whatever the heck, it's like okay, that's just not available. Go buy the real thing.
The other thing though is you'd have to worry about again is another thing is thinking about cross contamination. You can't keep chicken with well, at least I would assume you can't keep chicken with pork and things like that.
Presumably, they wouldn't put all that together.
Yeah, but if you're
I
growing,
mean, a butcher's shop is probably more cross-contaminated than a lab.
I don't know. You have the health inspectors.
I hope a health inspector goes to a lab-grown beef place.
That's what I'm
too,
saying.
You know?
But I'm saying is you would have to there's so many different types of meat. There's so many different types of animals you have to replicate. I feel like just one thing alone is hard enough. But let's say you have to do 12 different types of meat from 3 different animals.
See,
Well,
that's the thing.
if you could take over the ground beef market, like that alone would be huge.
Yeah,
Like that-
Look, I don't think lab-grown meat needs to cover everything. I think as it slowly does and slowly new parts come out, like Chuck said, only ground beef exists of lab-grown meat. That's the only thing that's available in that form. Only thing you taste it tastes exactly like ground beef. And you're like, oh, this is pretty good. And that's the only thing available yet. And they're like, yeah, maybe in 3 years it's like, all right, we can do full steaks. But it's like
But
all these
specific
different
type of
chops are
steak,
missing.
There's like different.
Who cares?
There's
Who
5
cares? They're like it's only one specific steak. Only one is available.
But you
gotta
see,
go where the money is.
But and you're seeing that's what I'm trying to say is you're saying we can only grow this one, and I get it. It's at this time, but the people aren't. You're not going to get as heavy investors because they're like you can only do right now. Your infrastructure can only do one thing.
I disagree with that.
I could see an actual
Well, then
shift
why
with that.
isn't it being done right now?
It's not ready. I think
It's
That's
not
my
ready.
Theory. Personally, let's say we got a group and they're getting good at lab grown meat for ground beef. They can't do any steaks or ribs or a rump or anything like that. So you're not getting any roast or anything. But they could do a pretty good ground beef. Okay,
I don't see why
They
people
land
wouldn't buy
themselves
the
a
ground
deal.
beef
They
because you
land
can't
a
get a pork
deal-
chop.
They land a deal with McDonald's as a supplier.
Yeah.
With Burger King as
It's
a
killer.
supplier.
As long
okay?
as it's a private company, I don't care. I don't want any tax out where I don't like subsidiaries,
Yeah.
so don't put any. We already do enough
So
of
you
that.
don't want it to be a government thing
no,
doing it?
I don't want
Okay.
I don't want government
No,
involved.
I'm
at
fine with that.
all.
That's what capitalism is.
I
Private
would hope
of
that
course.
it was at least health checked, FDA stuff. That
Yeah,
kind of
you'd
thing.
have to follow the regulations of all that.
But other than that, I would like.
It needs to
Yeah,
be private
absolutely. Let's go
corporations.
full
We're-
capitalism on this
I don't
bad
like
boy.
subsidiarities. That's why that's already an issue with the electric
fine with
cars.
it.
Just
I
let them
can't
either
invest in a
live or
government
die.
company.
Yeah,
Like, you can't invest
let
in-
them live or die on their own. That's the same thing. Let it live or die on its own.
And
on its own merits.
when it comes to capitalism, you need competition and that kind of thing. It's like that's going to bring out the best lab grown beef. That's going to bring out the best research. It's going to bring out the best fighting.
Imagine if
to
two
get control
firms are
over that
fighting
market.
each other, their own moon race to grow the best beef.
Yeah.
The first commercially viable beef.
Yeah.
It would be crazy. It would be insane. And that's the thing. It's like Chuck's saying. It's like let's say they can't get something resembling a steak. They're like, this is more like a meatball. So they grind it up into a ground beef. But it's like it tastes pretty good. And then they do score specifically a deal. Let's say Wendy's, Mister Never Frozen,
Remember,
whatever.
You're not
They're like,
taking care of an animal. It would be a
no
lot
better
cheaper.
McDonald's. Yeah, it's like
Is it though? Because
The technology needs to get there, but I mean, when you're not
Yeah, it's
taking
not
care
there
of
yet.
the animal, it's like you don't have to feed the thing. You have to maybe put nutrients or something in some kind of formula in the blood or something like that. To kind of help it grow. But you're not sitting there cleaning up Duke. You're not sitting there, feeding them, so
true,
many
but
times a
you
day.
still have the energy for all the other equipment that you would not normally have.
Maybe I don't know how much equipment.
I don't-
That is.
that's what I'm
How
saying.
much equipment do you need to keep
Look,
a
look,
muscle
look.
alive?
Here,
I don't know.
to speak to Mikey's take right here. Okay, currently it's not viable. It's too expensive to do, which is why we're not doing it. The point, though, here is just because something is expensive and difficult to do does not mean it can get that it can't get cheaper. And in fact, that's how all of our innovations happen. Okay, we have PC screens
that.
and stuff.
Cars,
They're
that's-
flat and everything. They
but
used to be
that's-
huge tubes. Technology innovates; it becomes cheaper. You can buy a 4K TV
That's
for
exactly-
less than 200
That's
bucks.
what
That's
we're-
exactly what I
nowadays.
said. I would like to get
in
in
on the ground
floor
floor.
Yeah,
investing.
if it's I get that.
So it's
but
not
I can-
viable yet,
Yeah,
but
but
it
you can
will
also
be.
be acceptable to people who don't want it to happen or are
course.
nervous about it. So I can get. Like I said,
Skeptical?
I am
Absolutely.
firmly in the camp of you cannot force people to eat lab-grown meat. I'm totally fine with that.
I just don't like the idea.
If
Now,
McDonald's
in the future,
does
I
a
will
deal.
try. I told you, if I'm not the first one to drink the Kool-Aid, though, that's for darn sure. You never drink. You're never the first one to
I'll
drink
go
the
first,
Kool-Aid.
Mikey. I'll go first.
We give him an hour.
You're gonna
and
have to
then,
race me, brother.
I'm gonna give an hour
There
and
we
then be
go.
like, "Are they dead yet?"
I'm gonna
We'll
be
do a dumb
cooking
twin
the bad
thing.
boy.
We'll do a dumb twin thing. We'll be first in line. We're both going to take the first bite of
They-
the two competing firms' burgers.
Then Mike
Yeah.
comes
I
back
taste
and be
it. One
like,
of us smirks like, ugh. And the other one's like, oh dang, this is good. And it's like everyone knows the winner.
and then
Yeah.
Mike comes back and like, "Listen, guys, they're both in the hospital. We gotta pause this stuff."
They inherited mad cow disease. We're not really sure how that happened, being a lab grown, but
The first time there's transfer of mad cow disease to a human.
Dang, straight to the brain.
COVID-30.
they used human stem cells, and now it's like they can transfer the mad cow disease to the humans.
We're in like
Jeez.
COVID-30. It's 2030 or something like that.
That's called cross-species
Code-
contamination.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like it just the image it conjures the mind, and that could be because of like TV shows and movies, just freaks me out enough to be like, whoa. I just see a guy.
Gives me enough pause.
I just see an evil doctor in like a white coat and like a sterile white laboratory. It just sounds like
Yes.
I'm like that. Secretly, I think he's a Nazi. And in my brain, when I envision it, I'm like, this guy's putting. Because like cartoons had like
Maybe the guy
the
is
X
ju-
on the chemicals or whatever, and it
Oh,
always looks.
jeez.
That's what he's just. It's chemical X at this point. You're gonna be a
I want
Powerpuff
to get.
Girl.
I want to.
It's just
Bring it.
It just seems sketchy.
Bring it.
I'm like, you seem like a villain that would be in a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
But to be fair, like I said, that's just an image that is either that just
Give me
kind
the
of
superpowers.
comes
It's
to-
fine.
superpowers to become a cow.
Jeez. Look, I'm totally down for this. I hope it happens. I hope we figure out this future where now animals don't have to suffer as much. Because
Would you
obviously,
be worried though about the.
what's up?
Let's say it gets. This is a purely hypothetical, and we
This
can go
whole
there.
thing's hypothetical,
No,
so go
this
for
is.
it.
I don't like this because it's usually what you do, but this is like a what if scenario because there's too many what if scenarios, and I hate
okay.
that.
Let's do
But
it.
like, let's
get
say
what
it gets
ify.
to a high degree, wouldn't we go have an issue? Cows and pigs and chickens would all be useless, so they just
Yeah, they'd be useless
they'd
creatures.
endangered. They'd just die off.
Release the pigs
Well,
into the wild. They'll
no.
grow hair and tusks.
So,
I don't think that's how that works.
No, it is.
So-
They do that. That's what happened.
That's a boar.
Yeah, that's
Difference between a
what
pig.
pigs are. That's what happened
So-
when we released the pigs, and then they went wild
Released
and
the
they
pig.
became boars. They started growing tusks.
have
They
proof
grew
of
hair.
this?
Yes.
I need to see.
These
that.
are
need to-
this
I need
is
to see this too.
This is where the American boar is from. It's because Europe brought pigs over here because they're like these
Release
things
the
are fun.
pigs.
They can't run very far or fast, and they just release them. They'd start breeding, and it's like now we have natural pigs. That's how we got our meat. We hunted. We brought something we could easily hunt. And they
Yeah.
became wild.
What-
They grew tusks to like start digging through for roots and stuff. Crazy.
I feel like but wouldn't they just become a moot point at this? They would.
Yes. Are you suggesting that cows, pigs, chickens, and stuff might coexist because we literally don't need to farm them?
They'd be
So-
extinct animals.
this is
Chickens
this is
would
normal.
start flying again.
Well, think of it like this.
No, they
What do you
wouldn't.
think the horse population was a long time ago before the car? And what do you think the horse population is now?
Horses aren't native to North America, so I'm
yeah,
not sure.
but my point is,
do you mean they
God
ain't
knows
native?
they have space
They're
in
not
Europe.
native.
Came from
to-
Russia.
No, they're
They're
European.
not native to North America.
Horses.
Horses
Yeah,
were not
We
native.
imported these things.
Knights
Yes.
and armor, castles.
That's why
horses,
they just.
right?
That's one of the reasons.
Are
they
you
got-
telling me
You didn't know
we
this?
gave the Native Americans the horse to
Yes.
tear us asunder with?
No,
No,
they
they-
technically traded them.
Yeah,
horses.
they saw us riding horses
And destroying them with the
There were
horses.
wild populations of horses because we had released them here, and they
Yeah,
used it
horses
too.
are not
Yeah.
natural in
There's
North America.
no way.
Yes, it's.
No, wait
it's-
a minute. Whoa.
They did not exist
There is
until
a
Europe.
natural horse from
No,
North America.
No,
Yes.
there's not.
This
Nick.
is entirely featured
Look it up.
at our college.
It's,
look it up.
It's fake.
This is entirely
Fake
featured.
news.
It has its entire lineage of a North American horse.
Then you're trying to pull some chicken dinosaur thing.
It's fine, whatever.
They weren't
Unimportant.
introduced until European coloners came here. Horses did not exist. Why do you think the Indians were just attacking each other with bows and arrows? They weren't riding horses. And then the the Europeans
Yeah,
introduced
did we
it.
really do this? It had to have been
Yes.
the Spaniards then, because they came
Was,
first.
yes, that's what said European coloners.
Yeah.
There's no actual.
Huh, okay, this is interesting.
What
Are
do
you
we
guys
got?
ready for this?
Yeah,
There's
let's
no
go.
real horse though. This is
Isn't
like
there-
drawing from
Is
a T-Rex to a chicken.
Okay,
give me
so
what you
while
got.
the genus of it says EQUUS,
Equine.
Yeah, whatever. The horse.
Equine?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's-
It's
It's
just
oh
the
my
fancy
God.
technical.
EQUUS.
Yeah,
it's
it's-
it's the fam. It's a term of a horse.
It's the scientific
Oh,
term
I've
for a
never
horse.
heard that.
It's an equine competition or
Yeah.
equine competition, like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Olympics.
I've never heard of that.
Oh
I've
my
never heard that
Jesus.
term. All right, let me keep going. While the genus of equine, I guess, of which the horse is a member,
Yeah.
originally evolved in North America. These horses relatively became extinct on the continent
Yes.
approximately 8,000 to 12,000 years ago.
Yep. Which is when the mammoths were around.
But they're not. There's the horses we know today are not native to North America.
So
yeah, that's probably true.
You're right. I think I have seen horse drawings of Native Americans.
Yeah, they have, like-
with
Yes.
hunting a mammoth.
Yeah.
So anyway, apparently the horses were here. They evolved here, but they went extinct here.
But they're not.
Interesting.
They're not the same type of horse.
So
I assume they're different.
Mikey
Yeah,
is
this is a
absolutely
Spanish
correct.
horse.
It's not the same horse. We do have a North American horse that did
We
extinct.
did have a North American.
We're both
horse.
right.
Technically, there's two separate things. I'm righter.
No, I'm righter.
I'm
righterist.
more right. I'm the writerist.
I'm to the right of the left.
So, all right, we'll wrap up our lab-grown meat here.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah, I don't even know. We
We'll
tangent out
we'll
there.
re-talk about this discussion in 20 years.
Do you want to go with the long form response to this?
Or
Sure. Let's hear it.
do you have? Oh, do you have one? Oh,
You didn't do the
you
polls.
didn't say. Yeah,
I
yeah,
did
he
do
did.
the poll.
Yeah, he did. He
Oh,
did the
did
poll.
do the poll.
Yeah, I was
It
talking
was
about
77
knobs.
to 43.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
How do you remember these numbers? Holy cow!
Hmm.
That was like
that's
an
right.
hour ago. Jeez.
Because 43 is his number.
That's
Oh.
not why I remember. I just knew the numbers.
he's good. He's strong number rememberer. Okay. So originally the question, the hypothetical, the growing
You
meat
eat the
industry.
lab meat that's
Mikey, the growing meat industry has arrived. That was the premise specifically, in quotes, and that their steak has grown or was grown in a lab. We're talking the potential future of lab-grown meat. Would you bite? Here we go. If you're looking for a binary answer, a
Real
yes
quick,
or a no,
Anonymous or
Anonymous.
Okay.
Okay.
I'd lead towards no. But realistically, I just want to know that the details of the I would just want to know the details of the substance. So what you're eating.
Mm-hmm.
If there's nothing too off-putting, I could feasibly try it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So- Fair. Fair.
I'd be all over this thing.
Absolutely.
What if they didn't tell you what it was, and just said it was grown in a lab?
No one
Yes.
no one's eating
Wait, like
no one's
like a
eating
meat
the
or-
human thigh meat.
No, I'm just saying
Because that's automatic.
what
If you're
they
not going to
said-
disclose,
Yeah, yeah,
it's like,
the-
nope, you're
no,
trying to
it's
make
a
me eat
it's
a man.
Yeah,
If they
I
don't
don't wanna
disclose, it's an animal, but they just don't disclose it.
I don't want
until-
to eat like a, I don't know, a llama. You know what I mean? Like it's like, all right.
So they
tell
have
me
to
what I'm
disclose
eating.
it too.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't want to eat a horse.
another
like,
what if.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would like. I prefer to know.
There was a user submitted topic.
Oh.
Are we interested?
Yeah.
Mikey, are you interested?
What's the topic?
Here we go. Otherwise, we could always save this for another day. They said, since y'all, Y apostrophe all, since
Yeah.
y'all brought meat and game into this, if you had to live your life as a non-human animal, but had complete freedom to choose your species, what would it be?
This is. I know. I know this answer.
You know this answer.
There's only one answer,
What do you mean there's only one?
so I
answer?
don't want to say it until after you guys do.
So wait, basically, what animal would we want to be?
Sure.
Has to be a real animal. I'm putting
Yes.
that in the ground rules.
Okay.
Can't be a
ground rules.
mammoth?
It can't be fake animal.
Okay. Is a mammoth considered a fake animal right now?
Technically, that's a fake animal because
Te-
they're going to merge
yeah,
it with an Asian elephant.
Which are
Okay.
also
But
very-
it would
A
physically be in the meat
crossbred
space.
mammoth.
So
Yeah.
you want to be an extinct animal, is what you're saying.
No, I wasn't picking that. I was just
Okay.
saying. I was just trying to.
Why don't we just say what animals that are alive
Sure.
today?
Okay.
Okay, let's list
You
them.
can't
There
be
are
a-
blue
no.
jays, there are
You didn't even start at A. You
ladybugs,
didn't even start at A.
grasshoppers,
So what would it be?
elephants.
I'd have two. That's the problem.
Okay.
Two.
Yeah.
Different circumstances?
And I just kind of sort of yeah.
Okay.
Does not no Chuck go. You're fine.
Okay, so the only right answer, okay,
No, right.
and this is like
Can't be a man.
evolutionarily proven. Okay,
You can't be a human.
no.
He's gonna say, "Oh, it's a fungus or something like that."
No, goodness, no. I want to be able to. I want to be
You want a
somewhat
bored, be a
sentient.
bored creature? Just a constant hum.
Go ahead.
I got it. Like I gotta admit, the best animal to be, okay, is a large cat of sorts. Okay, probably preferably.
What
One
would
that's gonna
you want to
survive.
be?
I don't know. Maybe
It's not
like
what
a,
would be the best.
No, I'm not.
We're not
I don't
dissecting
want to
this.
be an animal.
No, if you had to be.
Maybe a lynx. You know, like a snow leopard or something. You want to be a cat, okay? They are really. They're kind of like the smartest
You're
and like
over.
best
Yeah, I get that.
evolutionary
What
animal.
did you say? You get to keep your.
I
What
don't
was
think
the
there's any.
top?
I don't think
Read
there's
the
anything
topic.
any specific rules. You just can't be a human. Let me see.
He said.
It said, since y'all brought me into this, if you had to live your life as a non-human animal, but had complete freedom to choose what species.
Okay, I can remember the second part. What would you want to be? Not what you think would be best. You have to pick what you would want to be.
Well, I mean, your survival. You could survive as a large cat. Everything else, like you're
Is
gonna
that
get
what you would
hunted.
wanna be?
You want to be the predator. You know, with the nature's predator.
What do you
don't
want
wanna-
to be? I don't
What do I
care what
wanna
science says
be?
is the perfect animal to technically live
That's a
in.
loaded question, brah.
A tiger. I'd either be a white tiger or a bald eagle. Any type of bird would be pretty cool because you can just like fly around and you're just.
All right, fine. I'll go
That'd
with
be-
one of my favorite animals,
be
a
pretty
crow.
fun. You'd want to be a crow?
Yeah, they're super smart. They're like seagulls, also.
You
super
just
smart.
be eating road.
No, I'm smarter than that. You go to the Walmart parking lot and pick up fries.
No, they don't. That's not what crows do. They eat the roadkill.
Oh, I'm a smart crow.
And
okay?
you do drop acorns from the high. Crows are scary creatures.
They-
Yeah,
they
and
really
it'd
are.
be either
They're
like a white
fascinating.
tiger or like a bald eagle
And
or
their
some type
families are
of
called murders.
one type. Yes, it's a murder of crows.
Murder of crows. There's a murder of crows across my street.
Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Who did it?
Great question.
But or like a large bird. I think like not like
Vulture?
an actual
An
flying.
albatross.
No, like I don't. No, I'd be an eagle or like some type of cool falcon.
Mm-hmm.
An owl would be cool. I've thought of this before.
It seems so lonely. Like you can only go out at night. I guess you got night vision, but you're like night's predator. Who eats owls? Nobody. They probably die
They're
like,
just
like choking on
out
rats.
of nowhere.
You know,
They
Like,
just out of
is that
nowhere.
how they die? They
No,
choke on
that-
rats.
They get rid of the tree. So yeah, owls are like any type of bird of prey, like
Yeah,
owl, or
yeah.
preferably like bald eagle or an owl. I've always liked owls and like
Owls are cool.
and like falcons and stuff.
Although if I
but
have to-
a tiger would be cool. A white tiger, especially because I love white tigers. And if I was in the ocean,
Mike, sorry to put thought into this.
oh, it's a killer whale. It's my,
killer whale. all
heck
right,
yeah,
all right.
they're beautiful creatures.
They're very.
I saw a thing on Twitter where a guy like they just showed up on a guy and the guy's like, oh,
Yeah.
and I apologize, but
There we go. Marketed as explicit.
but he was like, oh crap, you know, they were just, oh yo, what's going on? Okay, cool, and then they left.
Well, you hear about the recent ones where they've been like knocking boats over?
That's because they think the boat killed the mom,
Yeah, not cool.
and so they were like, yo,
they're smart enough. Yeah.
retaliation. So, but
do
killer
it.
whales are amazing. So my air animal would be some type of bird of prey. My land animal would be a tiger, a white tiger, and then obviously a killer whale.
Yeah. Now that you made me think about it, it's like I like crows a lot. Big fan.
That's a weird animal, but okay.
That's my favorite animal.
Really?
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? They're dark. They're mysterious. They're almost the size of a small
Chuck's
chicken.
secretly an emo here.
like-
we just
they're
didn't
like
know about
huge,
it.
you know?
I know they're huge.
They're awesome.
I have to keep my dog. Like that. Crows are evil creatures.
Crow ain't gonna do nothing to your dog. Poke him.
My dog
Can't
is
pick
like
him up.
3 pounds.
Yeah, but a crow can't pick him up. I don't think his claws are good enough.
So,
think?
have you seen the size of some of these crows?
Yeah, they're pretty big. They're like chickens.
And they can fly, unlike chickens.
That's true. That makes them scary.
And they're like vicious
They
creatures.
hang around.
together as a murder of crows.
I don't have a good tree for it, but if I did, I would like get crows to like come.
They'd
here,
kill
and
you.
then-
They'd peck your eyes out.
No. You got to bring them a gift. You put a shiny thing down while they're nearby,
And then they steal
and they'll
it.
see it as a gift because they actually give each other gifts.
Yeah.
So
They're
if you give them
thieves.
a shiny thing, sometimes they'll bring you back one too if they like you.
Then why haven't you tried this with the neighborhood crows?
I'm not close enough. I have a pine tree in my front yard. It doesn't really work.
You could be like, just make it.
Plus,
Don't touch this. Is
To
for
be honest,
crows.
because they're across the street, it's like that. Like there was a weird number of them. And I'm like, that's
Someone got
strangely
murdered.
close to a murder.
Yeah. Well, it
You know what I
technically
mean?
is a murder.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not necessarily a human murder. We don't
Yeah.
know. Okay,
Calls
Nick.
the cops. There's a murder. They're like, where? It's like across the street. They come there. There's just a.
They're squawking at me. They're on the squawk box.
God.
Jesus. So, Nick, what's your animal?
My animal would be a giant clam.
Are you that soft on the inside?
Yes.
Wow.
I call him a jellyfish
I got
for
a tough
reason.
exterior.
I need a tough
Bro, you
exterior.
just sit there, though.
He needs a
Yeah.
tough exterior.
Yes, he does. He needs a spine.
I think those things are
Just a
wild.
clam.
I think they're
You
really
can get
cool.
eaten, too.
Close.
They
Oh,
pick you up and crack you open.
No. These things get up to 500 pounds.
The colossal clams?
Not unless you, the
Oh.
killer whale's coming out here to crack me a new one.
done.
Okay,
I'm
it's like
done,
they're not doing
son.
anything. Oh, they want to try and get in. It's like pinch a limb off.
I got teeth,
a
though.
fin's gone. Snack.
I want to see one of these.
That's
things
the
in real life.
hardest of hardcore
What, a giant
Venus
clam?
flytraps.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
No, these things are so.
Do we have them in, like aquariums?
I don't know. I you'd think.
Like, they're different from oysters. Let's remind you. I think oysters are freshwater
Yeah,
plant. Aren't they
I
just
think
basically
so.
freshwater?
I think so.
Yeah, because like my uncle used to have like a river, and we used to there used to be clams you could just go and mess with. I always try to force them open.
Jeez.
No, don't
We
mess with them.
we put them back.
Here, look, giant clam.
Yeah, but how big is it?
I mean,
I need like a size context. Go to like size.
Okay.
Go to the images. That
He
says
just wants to be a
size.
cloister.
size.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I get like icicle spear, you know. I was seeing an article about one that was like a 500
Fish would
pound
feed
giant
on 'em.
clam.
Dude,
These
the,
things
ty-
get
the
really
typing
cool.
of cloister is so dumb. He's one of the few water ice Pokemon like Lapras, but it's like, what about him as ice? Nothing about it. He's an underwater clam. They just
Probably because
tacked
they're
ice on
found
him.
in the glacier regions or something. Although these all look tropical.
Yeah, clams are everywhere. I would
But we have
think.
a size comparison.
I'm trying to
They're
find
not
a
that
size.
big. They're probably like this big.
Yeah, they could grow like the giant octopus. They could.
Hey, this
grow.
isn't fair. Whoever told the question, they didn't give the answer.
That's fair. They actually didn't.
Yeah, who did they even give their name?
Not in centimeters. No, it was all anonymous.
Anonymous, whoever you are out there, you never told us what animal you'd want to be.
Yeah.
Nick's is the
why'd you do
lamest
that?
out of everyone's.
Oh, here's a
I
fun
think we
classic.
can agree on
This
that.
thing. These dudes standing next to a giant one.
Yeah, they're all extinct.
They're not extinct.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so they're
So
pretty
why
big.
is the
They're really
picture
cool.
so old?
Because
I'm trying to find them, but these things.
Nobody has a size comparison chart.
no one's going for
I
clams
I
anymore.
literally
Fine.
typed in giant clam size comparison chart.
No one's because
like,
no one's
How
going.
big can a giant clam be?
No one's no
You
one's
said
going for
500
giant
pounds,
clams
yeah.
anymore.
Giant clam.
You picked
How
it.
big
Leave it to
can
Nick to
they
pick something like a clam.
Yeah.
This
What?
man,
What's wrong with a clam?
It's just so odd.
You got a problem with a
don't.
clam?
You don't even move. You just sit there.
Okay, so we're seeing.
I could kick you across the ocean.
up to 4 feet 6 inches in length, weighing up to 510 pounds.
Cool.
Oh, that's specifically dead. 550 pounds alive. Shell width up to 3 feet 9 inches. So they could be really wide, you know, really
So
big
they're really
and stuff.
small, but really fat.
Wow, dude.
That's-
Why you dissing the
that's-
clams, huh? The other one, I can't figure out the name, and this is one of my favorite birds. It is specifically a type of seabird, and it has a spur on its wing that it uses as a weapon. It will jab things.
An
stabs people?
osprey? I don't think it's.
I don't think it's an osprey. It's a type of seabird. It's not like
Stabby,
a
stabby
type of
seabird.
albatross or whatever.
Do they fly or do they look like?
They fly.
They look like.
They fly.
Not pelicans.
They
but the
fly. They're birds.
cranes. Do they
Literally,
have, like-
normal. I don't remember.
They
I
got,
don't
like,
think
the
they were
stick
too
legs?
tall.
They
I
got
don't.
stick legs.
I don't think so.
Or they have normal talons.
But they have like just normal wings. But at like the bend point, like where their thumb basically is a sharp spur that they will jab things with as a weapon, which I thought was the coolest
so
thing.
he
ever.
goes from
Like,
wanting to be a lame clam to a murdering bird.
I
with,
guess
like,
I'd consider being a shoebill. That'd be cool.
I don't know what that is.
That's a literal dinosaur. That's a literal
A
dinosaur.
spur-winged plover?
Oh, plover.
Is that it?
That might be
I
a,
don't know. Here,
plover.
here.
Yeah.
A spur?
You know what? I just realized animal really doesn't get talked about anymore as a platypus. Whatever happened to him?
Nobody
them.
talks about the platypus. Nobody cares.
That's mean.
Like
He's-
what does he do? He's like he's an unholy amalgamation that God created when he was drunk. It doesn't make any sense.
Mikey,
He's hairy,
this is
he
a
lays
shoe
eggs.
bill.
That looks like a freaking. That's dead. That's not real.
Is he showing another black and white picture?
No, that was a nightmare stare. I don't need. I'm never gonna go and
What is
unsee
that?
Oh yeah, I forgot. You don't like ostriches. I'm sorry.
bro.
What is
He
this?
just looked into my soul,
Chuck, have you seen a shoe bill?
Yeah, I've seen these.
bro.
things.
That's
These things are like man size.
He just
Where's
looked.
the scary? Where's the scary?
Here, I'll show you the scary
I
part.
want to see the scary part.
Bro, he just looked into my soul.
It's amazing.
That's a famous shot of a shoe bill.
Yeah, and guess you know what happened? That guy's now dead because the shoe bill got him.
Yeah, so shoe
So,
bills
like-
are really cool.
And
They're
he's dead.
ridiculous. Apparently, I think they're pretty tame actually. Like people kind of like interact with them and stuff. They're
he
interesting.
saw that man's soul and says, "You're
right
dead."
through the camera.
Yeah, the bill's
lens.
like the
So it's
size of
you're
like
done.
a shoe. It's like it's big.
He looked
Um,
through the camera lens into that man's soul and says,
No, Mikey. He looked through the camera. He wasn't looking at the camera. He was looking at you specifically.
I know it's the thing. He
knew
looked.
this.
He looked through the ages at
like
me.
it's Mike.
Yes.
He went.
through the
We
ages.
went through time and space.
What's this about ostriches?
It's a well-known fact. I have a rational fear of ostriches.
This was on the
They
podcast.
should
I
not
think.
exist, bro.
I mean, yes, that's true, but
Have you
still,
Mikey, this was
The size,
the dream
the speed,
episodes.
the spirit. Yeah, it's a dream episode.
This is a dream episode.
They kidnapped my family.
Yeah,
And I had to fight
Ostriches?
with
and he
it.
had to fight
Yes.
it. It was going down. It was
which-
going down.
which
He's like, all
episode
right,
is
here we
this?
go.
The dream
Here we go
episode,
again.
I think.
Which episode is
This
that?
is the dream
Dreams
episode where we talked about lucid dreaming and stuff. I think I was talking about dreams and lucid
And
dreaming.
ever since
everything.
then, I don't listen, man. They can run way too fast for the size that they are.
Yeah.
and they're evil creatures. They should.
They're evil. Like, what did they do?
The kid,
Oh, they'll get
besides
started.
kidnapping my
Look,
family,
Yeah,
go
they
back and
can-
watch the dreams. Yeah,
Yeah, go watch the dream episode. It's ridiculous. The full story's in there. Very harrowing retelling of Mikey's experience in
that's
vendetta.
what I just
against
saw
the-
in the shoe bill.
Yeah,
You just look
yeah,
through
we
time
joked about
and-
it where it's like
I
Mikey
still
getting jump
see it.
scared. Like he
Man.
wakes up at night or whatever, and I was like thinking the other end, the ostrich wakes up. It's like, oh, it's like what? It's like, oh, that man. It was that man again. Fantastic.
That was I feel like I just saw it through time and space. I still see it looking at me.
Mikey, that shoe bill's thinking about you
bro,
in
I'm having-
particular.
hopefully he's dead.
You know what's funny? You're gonna be driving one day and you're gonna look out your window and you're gonna see one.
It's
looking
just
at you.
looking.
And ostrich or a shoe bill.
He's gonna see you.
That's
gonna
when you
come find
swerve the car and you
Take
you-
him out.
Hopefully I'm in a
There
person.
are other famous shots of shoe bills.
Oh.
Yeah.
You should show him that one.
I don't think he wants to see.
He wants to sit there.
Yeah, that's how you die.
Pure evil.
That's what I think of crows.
Yeah, here, just another one. They just happen to look like that.
That's great.
They
I
got
love it.
resting evil face.
They do. Yes, they do.
They got resting evil face. Guys, I
a
think
good
that
topic.
was some. Yeah. That was a fun nonsense topic. I really enjoyed it. Thank you, Mr. Anonymous viewer or Mrs. Anonymous, just anonymous viewer. Thank you for your guys' participation and of course joining in the polls and the surveys and everything. Really cool. I think that covers it for this episode of the Potential Apes podcast. So we're gonna close it up. Thank you for joining us. Chuck, where can they see us?
Oh, you can check us out at twitch.tv/gamingtwinshow or our YouTube channel.
Yeah, Mikey, what do we do on Twitch?
We do a lot of stuff on Twitch. I don't know what we do on YouTube. You're gonna have to talk that and hit that. up.
I'll speak to it.
We do this. We do a gaming podcast, which we actually have a recording of that we got to put up. We have the Gaming Twins show. Right now it's every Sunday. Currently our Game Pass show is on pause until we figure out, because I'm working 50 hours a week.
We hiatus.
I'm holding my company up like Atlas and holding the world.
He really is.
But otherwise, yes, we do a plethora of gaming news, real news, just chatting. We're looking to stream some more.
Oh boy.
The new games
Yeah,
coming
I
out.
recently started streaming.
Yeah, I guess
There
you
you
did.
go.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I'll be doing that.
If you guys want to see a real pro play Elden Ring and its DLC, check out our channel.
That's all this
Hi,
man's
guys.
been playing.
I'll be here. Right
Yeah,
for
I
you.
did see that. Yeah, because I was thinking, there's a lot of stuff coming out that I did not know my 2024 was going to be as loaded. Me and Nick talked about this.
We were discussing.
And I was like, oh, crap. But I moving into a new section of the house, so that's still in progress. So I don't get to stream as easy. But yeah, Ace Attorney, when we can do this.
It's a
but,
great question. When should that occur?
Well, I've already got the other one pre-ordered. I own everything. So, yes, that's what we do, about things. And last but not least, what's the YouTube channel? 'Cause I don't know.
YouTube channel. Check out the Potential Apes.
Is that just what it is?
Yep.
Type
It's
in
the Potential Apes.
Okay, I gotta go and subscribe, and turn on the bell so you get notifications when we go live. I know that from watching you.
Yeah, because apparently the algorithm just changes with the wind. So
It does.
no one knows how to predict that. So, but allegedly, pressing the bell will get you a notification. So please consider
it. Will
it.
get you a notification when a new video is uploaded. I can confirm this.
Yeah, and of course, the Potential Apes podcast is, of course, available on podcast services. Get it on your iPhone. Get it on your Android phone. Get it on your PC. Download it to your
iTunes, Spotify,
your Apple Watch, which apparently someone did.
What?
That's awesome.
It's in our specs. I don't
Was it you?
understand that. No, I have a Samsung watch. I have no
Oh,
idea what that
someone
is,
used
but
it.
someone
Whoa, okay.
someone watched it
Thank
on
you.
an Apple wearable. I'm
That's so
like,
cool.
oh, okay.
That's
So,
insane.
It's really cool that we can see the specs. So yeah, check it out.
All platforms.
Yeah, all
We're
platforms
cross
anywhere.
play.
And
Yeah.
Chuck, you want to shout out a past Potential Apes episode?
The dream one. We just
No,
talked
I don't
about the
know.
dream one. We got
Which
some
one
good
was
ones.
I just talking to you about?
What one?
Very superstitious.
No, not that
No,
one.
I do that one.
That's
oh,
the
it's so
alien
good.
one.
Oh, it's so good.
Decisions. What was the one we just put up?
Gachapon. We like surprises,
Yes, do
and
that
of
one.
course,
Go watch
the
it.
path
That's the
to life.
newest one.
I named that one "The Meaning of Life" in a Gotcha capsule.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah, so check it out. Definitely check out the Dream episode and hear Mike's fear of ostriches and
Rational fear.
fear of ostriches, of course. And thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on the next episode of the Potential Apes podcast.
See ya.
Bye, guys.
Later, people.
Bro, what plan is it?
No, it's fine. Tough exterior, tasty on the inside.